The tale of Luna and the Moonlit Lake. Once upon a time, in a land where mountains kissed the sky and meadows stretched as far as the eye could see, there was a hidden lake known as Moonlit Lake. This lake was famous throughout the realm for its enchanting glow under the moonlight, but it held a secret that only a true-hearted adventurer could uncover. In a small, cheerful village near the edge of a sprawling forest lived a young girl named Luna. Luna had a deep love for the night sky and the mysteries it held. Every evening, she would gaze at the stars and dream of uncovering the secrets of Moonlit Lake. One night, as Luna admired the full moon from her window, she overheard the village elders talking about a long-lost treasure that was said to be hidden in the heart of Moonlit Lake. The treasure was believed to have the power to grant a single wish to the one who found it. Luna's heart fluttered with excitement. She decided that she would find the treasure and use it to bring prosperity to her village. The journey to Moonlit Lake. Early the next morning, Luna set out for Moonlit Lake, armed with a map she had found in an old book and a small lantern. The path to the lake was shrouded in mystery, and the forest surrounding it was known for its magical creatures and challenges. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she came across a wise old fox who seemed to be waiting for her. The fox spoke in a gentle voice, "To reach Moonlit Lake, you must first solve 3 riddles. Only then will the path reveal itself." Luna nodded, determined to succeed. The fox gave her the first riddle. The first riddle: "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Luna thought carefully and then answered, "An echo." The fox's eyes twinkled with approval, and a hidden pathway emerged from the forest, leading her further towards the lake. The second riddle: the path led Luna to a beautiful glade with a large, ancient tree. The tree had a face carved into its bark and spoke softly to her. To continue, solve this riddle. I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but not go outside. What am I? After pondering for a moment, Luna answered, a piano. The tree's branches swayed gently, and a sparkling bridge appeared over a nearby stream, guiding her closer to Moonlit Lake. The third riddle: as Luna approached the edge of Moonlit Lake, she found a glowing stone sitting on a rock. A shimmering voice emanated from the stone, asking, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Luna smiled and answered, footsteps. The surface of the lake began to shimmer and part, revealing a hidden path that led to the center of the lake. The moonlit treasure Luna followed the path to a small island in the center of the lake, where an ancient, ornate chest lay nestled among the moonlit flowers. With a deep breath, Luna opened the chest. Inside, she found a beautiful, glowing orb, radiating a soft, silvery light. As she held the orb, Luna made her wish, I wish for my village to be blessed with abundant crops and lasting happiness. The orb's light grew brighter, and a gentle breeze carried the magic back to the village. The next morning, the villagers awoke to find their fields lush and green, with crops flourishing like never before. The village was filled with joy and prosperity, and the once hidden Moonlit Lake became a place of wonder and celebration. Luna was celebrated as a hero, and the story of her brave quest spread far and wide. The village thrived under the light of the orb's magic, and Luna's wish brought happiness and abundance to all. The tale of Luna and the Moonlit Lake was passed down through generations, a timeless reminder that courage and a kind heart could bring light and joy to the world. And so, Luna's village lived happily ever after, forever touched by the magic of Moonlit Lake and the bravery of one young girl who followed her dreams. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Aurora, where the sky sparkled with stars and the moonlight danced across the land, there was a magical meadow known as the Moonlit Glade. The glade was famed for its enchanting melodies that could only be heard under the full moon, and it was said that these melodies held the power to fulfill one heart's deepest wish. In a small village on the edge of the glade lived a young girl named Aria. Aria was known for her beautiful singing voice, which could bring comfort to anyone who heard it. Despite her talent, Aria's life was filled with challenges. Her family was struggling to make ends meet, and her beloved younger brother, Leo, was sick with a mysterious illness that no healer could cure. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Aria heard the call of the Moonlit Glade's melody. It was said that those with a true and selfless heart could discover the secret of the glade and use its magic to help others. Driven by love for her brother and hope for her family, Arya decided to venture into the glade to seek the melody's magic. With determination in her heart and a small lantern to light her way, Arya made her way to the edge of the glade as the moonlight bathed the meadow in a silvery glow. The air was filled with a soft, melodic hum that seemed to guide her steps. As she entered the glade, the melodies grew louder and more enchanting. In the center of the glade stood an ancient, majestic oak tree with branches that sparkled like stars. Hanging from the branches were luminous, silver musical notes that shimmered in the moonlight. Arya approached the tree, and as she did, the melody seemed to form words. Only those who seek with a pure heart shall find the true melody, the tree whispered in a voice that was both gentle and wise. To uncover the magic, you must sing from your soul and reveal your deepest wish. Arya took a deep breath and began to sing. She poured all her love and hope into her song, her voice weaving through the moonlit air. The melody she sang was one of love, longing, and a deep desire to heal her brother. The glade responded, its music harmonizing with her song, creating a magical symphony that filled the night. As Arya sang, the tree's branches began to glow brighter, and a soft, radiant light enveloped the glade. The light converged at the base of the oak tree, forming a beautiful, glowing orb. The orb floated gently towards Arya, its light casting a warm and soothing glow. This is the moonlit melody, the tree's voice resonated. It holds the power to grant a single wish. Use it with love and selflessness. Arya took the orb with trembling hands, her heart filled with hope and gratitude. She made her way back to her village, her lantern guiding her through the night. When she arrived home, she placed the orb beside Leo's bed and whispered her wish, "Please, heal my brother and bring happiness to my family." The orb's light enveloped Leo, and within moments, his pale face began to regain its color. His breathing steadied, and he opened his eyes, smiling weakly at his sister. The illness that had plagued him vanished, leaving him healthy and full of life once more. The news of Leo's recovery spread quickly through the village, and the entire community rejoiced. Arya's family was overjoyed, and the village came together to celebrate the miracle that had touched their lives. Arya's selflessness and love had brought about a true blessing. As the moonlight continued to shine over Leora, the moonlit glade remained a place of magic and wonder. The melodies of the glade were known to inspire hope and joy, and Arya's story became a cherished tale of the power of a pure heart and the magic of the moonlit melodies. And so, Arya lived happily with her family, her voice continuing to bring comfort and joy to those around her. The moonlit glade continued to be a place where dreams were whispered under the stars, and the magic of the moonlight was celebrated with every melody. The end. In a faraway kingdom, where the skies were always clear and the nights were filled with the soft glow of moonlight, there lived a young prince named Orion. Orion was beloved by all in the kingdom, not only for his bravery and kindness but also for his deep connection with the night sky. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Orion would climb the tallest tower of the castle and speak to the stars. The stars, in turn, loved Orion. They would twinkle brighter when he spoke to them, and the moon herself would cast a silver beam of light directly onto him, as if in blessing. Orion's favorite time was when the moon was full, and her light illuminated the entire kingdom in a magical glow. But one night, something strange happened. As the full moon rose in the sky, Orion noticed that her light was dimmer than usual. The moonbeam that always shone down on him was weak, barely visible. Concerned, Orion climbed to the top of the tower and called out to the moon. "Dear moon, why do you shine so faintly tonight? Has something troubled you?" To his surprise, the moon responded with a sorrowful voice. "Oh, Prince Orion, I am in great distress. One of my brightest moonbeams has gone missing. Without it, I cannot light up the night as I once did. The world will be darker, and the night less comforting." Orion's heart ached for the moon. He could not bear the thought of the nights becoming gloomy and cold. "I will find your lost moonbeam, dear moon. Tell me where I should start my search." The moon sighed, her light flickering slightly. The last time I saw my moonbeam, it was playing among the clouds. It may have drifted down to the earth, caught by the wind. Please, Orion, find it before the night ends." Without a moment's hesitation, Orion set off on his quest. He took with him a small lantern filled with stardust, a gift from the stars, to light his way. He knew the stardust would guide him to anything connected to the sky. Orion traveled through the kingdom, following the faint glow of his lantern. He ventured into the whispering woods, where the trees murmured secrets to one another. There, he met an old owl who was wise in the ways of the night. "Good evening, Prince Orion," the owl hooted softly. "What brings you to the heart of the woods at this hour?" Orion explained his mission, and the owl's eyes gleamed with understanding. "I saw a strange light drift through the trees earlier. It was heading towards the Crystal Lake. You might find your lost moonbeam there." Thanking the owl, Orion continued his journey to the Crystal Lake. The lake was known for its mirror-like surface, reflecting the night sky so perfectly that it was said to be a portal to the heavens. As Orion approached, he saw the reflection of the moon on the water, but something was odd: the reflection was incomplete. Orion knelt by the lake, his lantern glowing brighter as he drew closer to the water. Suddenly, he saw it, a small, trembling beam of light trapped beneath the surface of the lake. The moonbeam had fallen into the water and couldn't find its way back to the sky. "Don't worry, little moonbeam," Orion whispered gently. "I'll help you return to where you belong." But how could he free the moonbeam? As he pondered, the stars above twinkled more intensely, and Orion had an idea. He took out the pouch of stardust he carried and sprinkled some into the lake. The stardust sparkled as it touched the water, forming a shimmering path leading from the lake's surface to the sky. The moonbeam, seeing the path, began to rise, following the trail of stardust. Slowly, it lifted itself out of the water, shining brighter and brighter as it ascended. Orion watched in awe as the moonbeam soared upwards, reuniting with the moon. As soon as the moonbeam returned to the moon, her light flooded the night with a brilliance that Orion had never seen before. The kingdom was bathed in the moon's radiant glow, and the stars danced joyfully in the sky. "Thank you, Orion," the moon said, her voice filled with gratitude. "Because of your kindness and courage, my light can once again shine brightly. You have not only restored my moonbeam but also brought even more light into the world." Orion smiled, his heart swelling with happiness. "It was an honor, dear moon. The night is a place of comfort and wonder, and I am glad I could help preserve its beauty." As a token of her gratitude, the moon granted Orion a special gift. Every night thereafter, a moonbeam would descend from the sky to keep him company, a reminder of his bravery and the bond he shared with the night. And so, the kingdom flourished under the moon's radiant light, with Orion as its protector. The nights were no longer just a time of rest but a time of magic, where the stars whispered stories, and the moon shone brightly for all to see. And as for Orion, he continued to climb the tallest tower each evening, not just to speak to the stars but to keep watch over the night, ensuring that its magic would never fade. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky kissed the mountains and rivers sang lullabies to the trees, there was a kingdom known as Eldoria. This enchanting realm was home to magical creatures, talking animals, and a wise and kind queen named Seraphina. Queen Seraphina ruled Eldoria with a gentle heart and a sharp mind. Under her reign, the kingdom flourished. Flowers bloomed in endless meadows, forests thrived with vibrant life, and the people of Eldoria were always happy and content. But the queen had a secret, a wish she had kept close to her heart for many years. She longed to have a child, but despite all the magic in Eldoria, she remained childless. One warm, golden afternoon, as Seraphina walked through her palace garden, a soft, melodic voice called out to her. Turning towards the sound, she saw a shimmering figure emerge from the sunlight, a fairy with wings that sparkled like diamonds and eyes that gleamed with kindness. "Your Majesty," said the fairy, bowing gracefully, "I am Alara, the Fairy of Wishes. I have heard your heart's deepest desire and I am here to help." Queen Seraphina's eyes widened in surprise and hope. "Can you truly grant my wish, Alara?" The fairy smiled. Yes, but the magic required is rare and potent. It will need a special ingredient, a tear from the heart of the enchanted forest, shed by a creature of pure joy. Determined to fulfill her wish, Queen Seraphina set out on a journey to the enchanted forest, accompanied by her loyal guard, Sir Cedric. The forest was a mystical place, filled with ancient trees whose leaves whispered secrets and paths that twisted and turned in ways that defied logic. After days of searching, they stumbled upon a clearing where a beautiful unicorn stood, its coat shimmering with every color of the rainbow. The unicorn, named Luna, was a creature of pure joy, her laughter ringing like the sweetest melody. Seraphina approached Luna with a gentle smile. "Dear Luna, I seek a tear of pure joy to fulfill a wish close to my heart. Will you help me?" Luna's eyes twinkled with understanding. "I will help you, Queen Seraphina, for I know your heart is true. But to shed a tear of joy, I must be reminded of the happiest moment in my life." Queen Seraphina and Sir Cedric shared stories of love, friendship, and bravery with Luna, each tale more uplifting than the last. As they spoke of the joys and wonders of the world, Luna's heart swelled with happiness until a single, glistening tear rolled down her cheek. The queen carefully collected the tear in a crystal vial, thanking Luna with all her heart. With the precious tear in hand, they returned to Eldoria, where Elara awaited them. "Well done, Your Majesty," Elara said, her wings fluttering with excitement. She took the vial and chanted an ancient spell, the air around her shimmering with magic. As the spell reached its peak, a brilliant light enveloped Queen Seraphina, and when it faded, she felt a warm, gentle presence within her. Months passed, and Eldoria prepared for a joyous event. On a crisp, starry night, the kingdom celebrated the birth of Princess Eliana, a child of pure magic and love. Her laughter was like the tinkling of fairy bells, and her smile brought light to the darkest corners of the world. Princess Eliana grew up surrounded by love and wonder, her magical abilities blossoming with each passing year. She became a beacon of hope and happiness for the people of Eldoria, just as her mother had always dreamed. And so, the kingdom of Eldoria continued to thrive, blessed by the magic of the Fairy of Wishes and the pure joy of a unicorn's tear. Queen Seraphina's wish had come true, and she and her daughter lived happily ever after, spreading love and light throughout the land. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering lake, there lived a kind-hearted young woman named Clara. Clara had a unique gift: she could make flowers bloom with a single touch. Her garden was renowned for its vibrant, ever-blooming flowers, which attracted visitors from far and wide. One evening, as Clara was tending to her garden, she noticed a starfall, a single bright star descending gently toward her. The star landed softly on her garden path, and to Clara's amazement, it transformed into a tiny, glowing creature with delicate wings and a twinkling crown. "Hello," the creature said in a melodic voice. "I am Leora, a star fairy. I have come to thank you for the beauty you bring to the world with your gift. For many years, I have watched your garden from the night sky, and it brings light and joy to everyone who sees it." Clara was astonished. "I had no idea my garden reached the stars," she said, blushing. Leora fluttered her wings gracefully. "Indeed, it does. And now, I have a special request. The Enchanted Meadow, a place of magic and wonder, is in peril. A dark spell has withered its flowers, and only the touch of a true heart can restore its beauty. Would you help us?" Clara agreed without hesitation, her heart swelling with a desire to help. Leora guided her to a hidden grove at the edge of the village, where the entrance to the Enchanted Meadow was concealed. With a wave of Leora's wand, a hidden door in the grove opened, revealing a shimmering path leading to the meadow. As they entered the Enchanted Meadow, Clara saw the once beautiful landscape now covered in a dull, gray haze. The flowers were wilted, and the air felt heavy with sadness. Leora explained that a sorcerer had cast a spell to drain the meadow's magic, hoping to control its wonders for himself. Clara knelt down and touched the ground, sending a wave of warmth through the meadow. Flowers began to stir, and small shoots of green emerged from the soil. Clara continued to walk through the meadow. her touch reviving the flowers one by one. Each flower that bloomed added a splash of color and renewed energy to the once sad landscape. As Clara worked, she felt a presence behind her. It was the sorcerer, cloaked in dark robes and with a scowl on his face. "You cannot undo my spell," he declared. "The magic of this meadow is mine to control." But Leora stepped forward bravely. True magic cannot be controlled by force. It thrives on kindness and love. The sorcerer sneered and attempted to cast a new spell to halt Clara's progress, but as he did, Clara's touch caused the flowers to sparkle with a radiant light, overpowering the dark spell. The enchantment protecting the meadow began to mend, and the sorcerer's powers waned. Desperate, the sorcerer tried to flee, but the meadow's magic had grown too strong. The flowers and trees, now glowing with vibrant colors, surrounded him and gently, yet firmly, ushered him out of the meadow. He was forced to leave, his dark spell dissolved by the meadow's renewed magic. With the sorcerer gone, the enchanted meadow flourished once more. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and a soft, golden light bathed the landscape. Clara and Leora stood in awe of the transformation. "Thank you, Clara," Leora said with a grateful smile. "You have restored the magic of the enchanted meadow. Your kindness and courage have proven that the true power of magic lies in the heart." Clara smiled back, her heart full of joy. "I'm just glad I could help." Leora offered Clara a gift, a single star-shaped flower that would forever remind her of the magic she had restored. As a token of gratitude, Leora promised that Clara's garden would always be blessed with a special light that would make it even more enchanting. Clara returned to her village with the star-shaped flower in hand. Her garden became more magical than ever, glowing with a soft, otherworldly light. The villagers marveled at the beauty of Clara's garden, unaware of the magical adventure she had experienced. As the years passed, Clara's garden continued to be a place of wonder, bringing joy to all who visited. The enchanted meadow thrived, a reminder of the power of kindness and the magic that lies within the heart of those who seek to help others. And so, Clara's legacy lived on in both her garden and the enchanted meadow, a testament to the lasting impact of a true and caring heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a faraway land surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests, there was a small village named Starhaven. Starhaven was renowned for its stunning night skies, where stars seemed to twinkle like diamonds and cast a gentle glow over the village. The village's most cherished treasure was a magical lantern known as the Lantern of the Lost Stars, which was said to capture the light of the stars and grant wishes. Legend had it that the lantern's light had dimmed because one of the stars it had captured had gone missing. The village's prosperity and the brilliance of its night skies were fading as a result. The villagers were worried, and despite their efforts, no one knew how to restore the lantern's magic. One evening, a brave young girl named Mira, who loved the stars and the stories about the lantern, decided to help her village. She had grown up listening to tales of the lantern and its magic, and she felt a deep connection to it. Mira resolved to embark on a quest to find the missing star and restore the lantern's light. Equipped with a sturdy staff, a map she had drawn from old stories, and a heart full of determination, Mira set out towards the great forest, where it was said that magical creatures dwelled and where the missing star might be found. As Mira journeyed through the forest, she encountered a wise old fox named Orion. Orion was known for his knowledge of the forest secrets. "Greetings, young traveler," Orion said. "I hear you seek the missing star. To find it, you must first seek the guidance of the 3 guardians of the forest." Mira thanked Orion and continued her journey. Her first encounter was with a graceful deer named Leora, who guarded a shimmering grove filled with moonlight. Leora told Mira that to gain her assistance, she must solve a riddle. "Listen carefully," Leora said. "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Mira thought deeply and answered, "A map." Leora nodded in approval and guided Mira to the second guardian, a wise old owl named Celeste who resided in the tallest tree of the forest. Celeste's task was to test Mira's kindness. "The forest creatures are in need," Celeste said. help them by gathering the magical herbs that have been scattered by a recent storm. Only then will I help you." Mira spent the day collecting the herbs and soothing the forest creatures. Once she had completed the task, Celeste rewarded her with a sparkling crystal that would light her way. Finally, Mira reached the third guardian, a majestic unicorn named Astra who lived by a crystal-clear lake. Astra's task was to test Mira's bravery. "Beyond this lake lies the Cave of Echoes," Astra said. "Inside the cave, you must find the Heartstone, a gem that holds the essence of the missing star. But beware, the cave is dark and full of illusions." Mira crossed the lake and entered the Cave of Echoes. Inside, she faced various illusions and challenges, but with the light of Celeste's crystal guiding her, she remained steadfast. After navigating through the darkness, she found the Heartstone, glowing with a soft, celestial light. With the Heartstone in hand, Mira returned to Starhaven. The villagers eagerly awaited her return, and as she approached the Lantern of the Lost Stars, she placed the Heartstone into its base. The moment the Heartstone touched the lantern, a brilliant light burst forth, filling the night sky with a dazzling display of stars. The missing star had been returned, and the lantern's magic was fully restored. The village of Starhaven sparkled once more under the brilliance of the night sky, and its prosperity and joy were renewed. The villagers celebrated Mira's bravery and determination, and the story of her quest became a cherished tale in Starhaven. Mira's adventure was a reminder that even in the darkest times, hope and courage could lead to the restoration of magic and light. And so, the Lantern of the Lost Stars continued to shine brightly, and the village thrived under the twinkling night sky, with Mira's story inspiring future generations to seek out their own quests with hearts full of bravery and wonder. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her beautiful singing voice. From dawn till dusk, she would sing songs that made flowers bloom and warmed the hearts of everyone who heard her. One misty morning, while walking through the forest near her home, Elara discovered an old, ornate music box half buried beneath a blanket of fallen leaves. Intrigued, she brushed off the dirt and opened the box. Inside, she found a tiny, golden key and a note that read, "To unlock the magic of the melody, you must find the Echoing Glade." Elara's curiosity was piqued. The Echoing Glade was a place of legend in her village, a mystical meadow where the echoes of ancient melodies were said to linger. Determined to uncover the magic, Elara set out on a quest to find this hidden glade. Following the clues from the note, she journeyed deeper into the forest than she had ever gone before. The trees whispered secrets as she walked, and the path seemed to shimmer under the light of the sun. After hours of wandering, she reached a clearing with a single, grand oak tree in the center. The tree had a hollow trunk with a small door, just the right size for the golden key. Elara inserted the key into the door and turned it gently. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she descended the staircase. At the bottom, Elara found herself in the Echoing Glade. The meadow was bathed in soft moonlight and filled with glowing flowers that danced to an invisible rhythm. At the center of the glade was a large, ancient harp, its strings glowing with a soft, magical light. Next to the harp stood a graceful figure, a fairy with wings that shimmered like the night sky. "Welcome, Elara," the fairy said with a voice like a melody. "I am Lyra, the guardian of the Echoing Glade. You have discovered the magic of the melody. To unlock its power, you must play the harp and sing a song from your heart." Elara approached the harp, her heart pounding with excitement. She began to play, her fingers gliding over the glowing strings. The harp's music filled the glade with a beautiful, enchanting melody. As she sang along, the air around her seemed to sparkle with magic, and the flowers swayed in harmony with the music. The melody grew stronger, and a gentle breeze carried the song throughout the forest. The magic of the Echoing Glade began to unfold, revealing hidden wonders, a canopy of twinkling lights, shimmering pools, and creatures of all kinds joining in the joyous celebration. Lyra watched with a smile as Elara's music brought the glade to life. "You have unlocked the magic of the melody," the fairy said. Your song has restored the harmony of the forest and awakened the ancient magic that was once lost. As a token of gratitude, Lyra gave Elara a small, glowing vial filled with stardust. This vial contains a part of the magic you have restored. It will guide you back to the echoing glade whenever you wish to return. Elara thanked the fairy and made her way back to her village, carrying the vial with her. As she arrived, she noticed that the village had been touched by the magic of her song. The flowers were blooming more brightly, and the air was filled with a gentle, melodic hum. From that day on, Elara's singing became even more enchanting. The magic of the echoing glade infused her music, and her songs brought joy and wonder to everyone who heard them. The tale of her adventure and the magical melody she discovered became a cherished story in the village. And every night, as Elara sang beneath the starlit sky, she felt the warmth of the echoing glade's magic, knowing that her music had not only unlocked the enchantment of the glade but had also woven its magic into the heart of her village. The end. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and dense, enchanted woods, there was a little girl named Maya. Maya was known for her boundless curiosity and her love for the stars. Every night, she would gaze up at the sky, dreaming of the wonders that lay beyond the stars. One evening, as Maya was stargazing from her favorite spot by the old oak tree in her backyard, she noticed a peculiar sight. Among the branches of the ancient tree, she saw a faint, shimmering light. Intrigued, she climbed the tree, following the glow until she reached a hidden platform nestled high among the branches. To her amazement, Maya discovered a beautiful treehouse made entirely of moonlight and stardust. Its walls sparkled like 1,000 stars, and its roof was adorned with delicate, glowing vines. A small sign at the entrance read, "To enter, one must hold a heart full of wonder." Maya's heart leapt with excitement. She had always believed in magic, and this treehouse seemed like a dream come true. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. As soon as she entered, the treehouse shimmered even brighter. A gentle voice spoke from the walls, "Welcome, Maya. You have been chosen to embark on a special adventure. The moonlit treehouse grants one wish to those who prove their courage and kindness." Maya's eyes widened with anticipation. "What must I do?" The voice continued, "To earn your wish, you must complete 3 tasks. Each will test your heart and spirit." The first task was to find the heart of the forest, a glowing gemstone hidden deep within the woods. Maya ventured into the forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the path was shrouded in mist. Guided by the faint glow of fireflies, she discovered a small, hidden glade where the heart of the forest lay nestled among the roots of an ancient tree. But as Maya reached for the gemstone, a fierce-looking fox appeared. It spoke with a gruff voice, "Only those with true courage may take the heart. You must show that you are not afraid." Maya took a deep breath and spoke gently, "I do not wish to take the heart for myself but to help my village, which is in need. Please let me prove my courage." The fox's eyes softened, and it stepped aside, allowing Maya to take the gemstone. With the heart of the forest in hand, Maya continued her journey. The second task was to mend the sky lantern, which had lost its glow. Maya arrived at a beautiful lantern floating in the sky, its light flickering weakly. Nearby, a group of star sprites fluttered around, looking worried. Maya approached them and asked, "How can I help?" The star sprites explained, "The lantern's magic has faded because it is missing a piece of stardust. We need to find it to restore its light." Maya searched the area and found a tiny, shimmering piece of stardust lodged in a crevice of a nearby rock. She carefully placed it back into the lantern, and its light grew brighter, illuminating the night sky with a warm, golden glow. The star sprites cheered, and the lantern's light guided Maya to her next task. The final task was to find the moonflower, a rare bloom that only opened once every 100 years. It was said to be hidden in the deepest part of the forest. Maya followed the path illuminated by the sky lantern and came upon a moonlit glade where the moonflower glowed with a soft, silver light. However, the flower was guarded by a gentle, old owl perched on a branch. The owl said, "To take the moonflower, you must answer a riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? Maya thought carefully and replied, an echo. The owl nodded in approval and allowed Maya to pick the moonflower. With the flower in hand, Maya returned to the moonlit treehouse, completing all 3 tasks. As she stepped inside, the voice spoke again, "You have shown great courage, kindness, and wisdom. Your wish will be granted." Maya made her wish with a hopeful heart. "I wish for my village to be filled with joy and prosperity, so that everyone can share in the magic of the stars." The moonlit treehouse glowed with a radiant light, and the magic spread throughout the village. The fields became lush, the rivers flowed abundantly, and the village thrived with newfound happiness. The villagers marveled at the sudden change, and Maya's kind heart was celebrated by all. From that day on, the moonlit treehouse continued to shine in the old oak tree, a symbol of magic and hope. Maya's village prospered, and she often returned to the treehouse, where she shared stories of her adventure and gazed at the stars, always remembering the magic that lay within her heart. And so, Maya and her village lived happily ever after, guided by the light of the moonlit treehouse and the stars above. In a serene valley surrounded by towering, ancient trees, there lay a hidden forest known as the Forest of Forgotten Dreams. Legend spoke of this mystical place where dreams that had been lost or abandoned over time took root and blossomed into something extraordinary. The forest was said to be enchanted, and only those with pure intentions and a brave heart could venture within its depths. In the nearby village of Meadowbrook, there lived a young woman named Ava. Ava was known for her kindness and creativity. She was a painter who brought color and life to even the dullest days. Despite her joy in painting, Ava felt a growing sense of melancholy, as if a dream she once cherished was slipping away from her grasp. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a deep shade of violet, Ava was wandering near the edge of the Forest of Forgotten Dreams. She paused, captivated by the beauty and mystery of the forest. She had heard the legends but had never dared to enter. Tonight, she felt a strange pull, as if something inside her was urging her to explore the forest. With a mix of curiosity and trepidation, Ava stepped into the forest. The moment she crossed the threshold, she was enveloped in a shimmering, silvery mist. The trees were tall and majestic, their leaves shimmering with a soft, otherworldly glow. As Ava walked, she noticed that the forest was filled with the gentle hum of hidden melodies and the occasional whisper of the wind. After walking for what seemed like hours, Ava arrived at a clearing bathed in moonlight. At the center of the clearing stood an enormous tree with bark that sparkled like stardust. Its branches were adorned with countless glowing orbs that floated gently in the air, casting a warm, enchanting light. Approaching the tree, Ava saw a figure sitting beneath its branches. It was an elderly woman with a kind, wise face and a flowing robe that seemed to be woven from threads of moonlight. The woman looked up and smiled as Ava drew near. "Welcome, traveler," the woman said in a voice as soothing as a lullaby. "I am Seraphina, the guardian of the forest. You have entered the Forest of Forgotten Dreams, a place where dreams long lost are given new life. How may I assist you on your journey?" Ava hesitated before speaking. "I feel as if I have lost a dream that once meant everything to me. I hope that perhaps this forest might help me find it again." Seraphina nodded thoughtfully. "The dreams that come to this forest are like seeds that need nurturing. They may not always be as they once were, but they often reveal their essence in new and wondrous ways. Tell me, what was your dream?" Ava took a deep breath. "I once dreamed of painting a masterpiece that would capture the beauty and magic of the world around us. But lately, I feel as if that dream is slipping away from me, lost among the ordinary and mundane." Seraphina smiled warmly. "Follow me, and we shall see what the forest reveals." Seraphina led Ava to a small, tranquil pond at the edge of the clearing. The surface of the pond was perfectly still, reflecting the glowing orbs above like a sheet of liquid glass. As Ava gazed into the pond, she saw not just her own reflection but also visions of her past paintings and dreams. Each vision was vibrant and filled with life, but some were also tinged with shadows of doubt and fear. The pond began to ripple, and from its depths, a single, radiant flower emerged. The flower was unlike any Ava had ever seen. Its petals shimmered with iridescent colors that shifted with every movement. The flower seemed to beckon Ava closer. "This is the bloom of inspiration," Seraphina said. "It holds the essence of dreams and creativity. To find your lost dream, you must nurture this bloom and allow it to guide you." Ava carefully picked the bloom and cradled it in her hands. She felt a surge of warmth and light as the flower's magic intertwined with her own. She realized that the dream she had lost was not gone but had become a part of her, waiting to be rediscovered and expressed anew. With the bloom of inspiration in her care, Ava made her way back to her village. She found that the experience had rekindled her passion and creativity. She began to paint again, infusing her work with the vibrant essence of the bloom. Her paintings captured not only the beauty of the world but also the magic and wonders she had rediscovered within herself. The villagers marveled at her work, which seemed to bring a new kind of joy and enchantment to their lives. Ava's paintings became renowned for their ability to inspire and uplift, and she realized that her dream had not been lost but had been transformed into something even more beautiful. As the years passed, the Forest of Forgotten Dreams remained a place of wonder and magic. Ava often visited the forest, finding new inspiration and dreams among its glowing orbs and magical blooms. Her story was passed down through generations as a reminder that dreams, once lost, could always be found again if one followed their heart with courage and creativity. And so, the legend of Ava and the bloom of inspiration continued to inspire countless others. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom called Valoria, there was a village nestled in the shadow of the misty mountains. The villagers lived in harmony, surrounded by lush forests and crystal-clear streams. In the heart of the village stood a grand castle, home to King Alaric and his daughter, Princess Evelina. Princess Evelina was known throughout the land for her kindness and her adventurous spirit. She loved to explore the forests, help the villagers, and listen to the stories of the kingdom's wise old storyteller, Granny Willow. Granny Willow's tales of magic and adventure always filled Evelina with wonder, but there was one story that captivated her more than any other: the legend of the enchanted locket and the dragon's heart. According to the legend, the enchanted locket was a magical artifact that could grant its wearer immense power and wisdom. The locket was said to contain the dragon's heart, a gem of unimaginable strength, created by the first dragon of Valoria. However, the locket had been lost for centuries, hidden somewhere in the misty mountains, guarded by an ancient dragon named Zephyra. One crisp autumn evening, as Evelina listened to Granny Willow recount the legend once more, she felt a surge of determination. "I will find the enchanted locket and bring it back to Valoria," she declared. "With its power, we can ensure peace and prosperity for our kingdom." Granny Willow smiled, her eyes twinkling. "It is a dangerous quest, my dear. But if anyone can succeed, it is you. Remember, true strength lies not in power, but in the purity of your heart." The next morning, Evelina set off on her journey. She packed a small satchel with provisions, a map of the kingdom, and a locket that had belonged to her mother, a token of love and courage. As she ventured into the misty mountains, she encountered many challenges. The paths were treacherous, the winds howled fiercely, and the air grew colder with each step. After several days, Evelina reached the entrance of a dark cave, where she encountered a clever fox named Felix. "Greetings, Princess," said Felix, bowing his head. "I am the guardian of this cave. What brings you here?" "I seek the enchanted locket," Evelina replied, her voice unwavering. "I must find it to help my kingdom." Felix studied her with his sharp eyes and nodded. "Very well. I will guide you through the cave, but you must prove your worth by solving my riddle." Evelina nodded, ready for the challenge. Felix recited his riddle: "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Evelina thought for a moment, then smiled. "An echo." Felix grinned. "Correct, Princess. Follow me." The clever fox led Evelina through the winding tunnels of the cave. They crossed underground rivers, climbed over rocky ledges, and finally emerged into a vast cavern. At the center of the cavern lay a massive dragon, her scales shimmering in shades of blue and silver. Zephira opened one eye and regarded Evelina with curiosity. "Who dares to enter my domain?" "I am Princess Evelina of Valoria," she replied, stepping forward. "I seek the enchanted locket to bring peace to my kingdom." Zephira's eyes glinted with ancient wisdom. "Many have sought the locket, but few have the heart to wield its power. You must prove yourself by facing the trial of the heart." With a wave of her massive claw, Zephira conjured a glowing portal. Evelina took a deep breath and stepped through, finding herself in a magical realm filled with challenges. She faced trials that tested her courage, her kindness, and her wisdom. She helped a lost child find their way home, healed a wounded deer, and solved puzzles that required both intellect and compassion. After completing the trials, Evelina found herself back in the cavern. Zephira nodded approvingly. "You have proven your worth, Princess. The enchanted locket is yours." Zephira revealed a hidden alcove where the locket lay, glowing with a soft, golden light. Evelina carefully picked it up, feeling its warmth and power. "Thank you, Zephira. I will use this gift wisely." With the locket in hand, Evelina returned to Valoria. The villagers and King Alaric welcomed her with cheers and tears of joy. Using the power of the dragon's heart, Evelina brought prosperity and harmony to the kingdom. Crops flourished, rivers flowed abundantly, and the people lived in peace. The legend of the enchanted locket and the dragon's heart became a cherished story, told by Granny Willow to future generations. Princess Evelina's bravery and wisdom were celebrated throughout the land, and Valoria thrived under her benevolent rule. And so, in the shadow of the misty mountains, where the stars shone brightly and the dragons watched over the land, the kingdom of Valoria lived happily ever after, forever grateful to their courageous princess. And they all lived happily ever after. The Starlight Bridge. Once upon a time, in a land where the night sky was always ablaze with shimmering stars, there was a hidden village called Lumina. This village was known for its breathtaking beauty and the way the stars seemed to come down to touch the ground. The villagers lived in harmony with the magical starlight that illuminated their homes and fields. At the heart of Lumina stood a grand tower known as the Celestial Spire. From this tower, a magical bridge of starlight arched across the night sky, connecting the village to the constellation of the Silver Swan. Legend had it that the bridge was a gift from the stars themselves, meant to bring guidance and fortune to the village. The darkening sky one evening, as the stars began to twinkle, a dark cloud spread across the sky. The once bright starlight grew dim, and the bridge began to fade. The villagers were troubled and gathered around the celestial spire, seeking answers. A young girl named Alara, known for her bravery and curiosity, stepped forward. "I will find out what's happened to the bridge and restore the starlight to our village." The village elder, a wise old man named Alaric, nodded approvingly. "You have the heart of a true hero, Alara. The bridge's light is tied to the balance of the cosmos. If it is fading, there may be a disturbance in the stars." A journey through the cosmos. With a determined heart, Alara began her journey. She climbed the celestial spire, where a shimmering portal awaited her. Stepping through, she found herself in a magical realm of constellations and glowing nebulas. She followed the starlight path leading to the constellation of the Silver Swan. Along the way, she encountered various celestial beings, including radiant star sprites and wise moonbeams, who guided her through the cosmic expanse. The Star of Shadows. As Alara approached the constellation, she found a shadowy figure hovering near the Silver Swan. It was a dark entity known as the Star of Shadows, a rogue force that thrived on darkness and chaos. The Star of Shadows spoke in a voice like swirling mist, "I have come to drain the light from the stars and plunge the world into eternal night. The Silver Swan's light will be mine." Alara, though afraid, stood firm. "You cannot take the starlight from our village. The stars are a gift to us, and we will protect their light." The battle of light and darkness. Alara summoned her courage and, with the help of the celestial beings, began to battle the Star of Shadows. The star sprites and moonbeams used their combined light to counteract the dark force. Alara fought with a glowing staff she had received from a kind star sprite, using it to channel the light of the cosmos. The battle was fierce, with darkness and light clashing in a dazzling display. Elera's determination and the support of the celestial beings slowly began to overpower the Star of Shadows. The dark entity struggled against the powerful light, its form flickering and weakening. With one final surge of energy, Elera struck a decisive blow. The Star of Shadows shrieked and dissolved into the void, its dark influence vanishing from the constellation. Restoring the bridge as the darkness receded, the starlight began to return. The Silver Swan constellation shone brightly once more, and the magical bridge of starlight reappeared, arching across the night sky. Elera watched in awe as the bridge's light cascaded down to Lumina, restoring its vibrant glow. The celestial beings gathered around Elera, their faces filled with gratitude. "You have saved the balance of the cosmos and protected the gift of starlight," a radiant moonbeam said. "For your bravery, we grant you a fragment of the Silver Swan's light." Elera received a small, glowing pendant, which would always remind her of her adventure and the bond between her village and the stars. A hero's return. Elera returned to Lumina, where she was greeted with cheers and celebrations. The villagers rejoiced as the bridge of starlight illuminated their homes once more. Elera shared her tale of bravery, and the village celebrated her as a true hero. The Starlight Bridge continued to shine brightly, a symbol of hope and the eternal connection between Lumina and the cosmos. Elera's story became a cherished legend, inspiring future generations to value the light and beauty of their world. And so, under the ever-bright starlight, Lumina thrived, forever protected by the courage and spirit of one brave girl who saved the night. In a land where the moonlight danced with the shadows of the trees, there was a small village nestled at the edge of the Whispering Forest. The villagers often spoke of the forest's magic, tales that stirred the curiosity of a young girl named Elera. Elera had always dreamed of discovering the forest's secrets, despite the warnings from the village elders who said it was best to leave the enchanted woods alone. One crisp autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky painted itself in hues of violet and gold, Elera found a peculiar lantern in her grandmother's attic. It was a delicate thing, covered in intricate carvings of stars and crescent moons, and it seemed to glow softly even in the dark. Her grandmother had told her that the lantern had been passed down through generations, but no one remembered its purpose. Determined to uncover its mystery, Elera decided to venture into the Whispering Forest, lantern in hand. As she stepped into the forest, the air grew cooler and the trees seemed to murmur ancient secrets. The soft glow from the lantern illuminated her path, and with each step, she noticed the forest seemed to come alive, glowing fireflies flickered around her, and the leaves rustled in harmony with the gentle breeze. After walking for a while, Elera came across a clearing where an ancient oak tree stood, its branches stretching out like welcoming arms. At the base of the tree was a small door, just big enough for a child to fit through. The lantern's light grew brighter as she approached the door, almost as if guiding her. With a deep breath, Elera opened the door and found herself in a magical realm. The sky above was filled with shimmering stars, and the ground was covered in sparkling fairy dust. She saw creatures she had only read about in storybooks, graceful unicorns with flowing manes, mischievous fairies flitting about, and wise old owls with twinkling eyes. At the center of this wondrous realm stood a grand, sparkling fountain. Its water glistened like liquid silver, and the air around it was filled with a sweet melody that seemed to resonate with Elera's heart. As she approached the fountain, a voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, Elera." Elera turned to see a tall figure dressed in robes of moonlight. It was a gentle woman with a crown of stars upon her head. She introduced herself as Leora, the guardian of the enchanted realm. Leora explained that the lantern was not just an ordinary object but a key to this hidden world. The magic of the lantern had been waiting for someone pure of heart to find it and restore balance to the realm. Leora told Elera that the enchanted realm was in great danger. The fountain, which was the source of all magic in the land, was losing its power because the Heartstone, a magical gem that kept the fountain's water sparkling, had been stolen by a dark sorcerer. Without hesitation, Elera offered to help. Leora handed her a small pouch filled with stardust and a crystal compass. "This will guide you to the sorcerer's lair." Use the stardust to protect yourself from dark magic. With a determined heart, Elara set off on her quest. The crystal compass led her through enchanted forests, over moonlit rivers, and across fields of shimmering flowers. Each step was filled with challenges, but the stardust shielded her from harm. Finally, she arrived at a dark, foreboding castle. The sorcerer, a figure cloaked in shadow, was standing near the Heartstone, which was glowing dimly in his grasp. Elara approached him with courage and a clever plan. She used the lantern to create a dazzling light show that dazzled the sorcerer, allowing her to retrieve the Heartstone. With the Heartstone in her possession, Elara rushed back to the fountain. She carefully placed the gem into its rightful place, and the fountain's water burst forth with renewed brilliance, casting a warm, golden light across the enchanted realm. The creatures of the realm rejoiced, and Leora thanked Elara for her bravery and kindness. As a token of their gratitude, Leora gave Elara a single, shimmering feather from a phoenix. This will remind you of your courage and the magic within you. Elara returned to her village, her heart filled with the joy of her adventure. She kept the lantern and the phoenix feather as mementos of her journey. Though she never told anyone about the enchanted realm, she knew that magic was real, and that sometimes, the most extraordinary adventures begin with a simple lantern and a courageous heart. And so, the village continued to thrive under the watchful gaze of the moon, while Elara's story became a cherished tale of wonder and bravery, whispered among the trees of the Whispering Forest. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there was a village named Harmony Hollow. This village was famous for its breathtaking, colorful flowers that bloomed all year round, thanks to the magic of a benevolent spirit named Flora, who dwelled in the heart of the Whispering Woods nearby. Flora was known for her kindness and her gift of bringing life and color to the land. She would sprinkle magical dew on the flowers each morning, ensuring that Harmony Hollow remained vibrant and beautiful. The villagers adored Flora and would often leave small gifts and tokens of appreciation at the edge of the Whispering Woods. One spring morning, as Flora was tending to her garden of magical blooms, she noticed something troubling. The colors of her flowers were starting to fade, and the once lush leaves were turning brown. Flora's heart sank as she realized that the magic sustaining her garden was waning. Desperate to restore the vitality of the flowers, Flora decided to seek help from the mystical Rainbow Fountain, a legendary source of great magic said to be hidden deep within the enchanted glade. Flora knew that the journey to the Rainbow Fountain was perilous and that she needed a brave companion. She summoned her friend, a young and courageous girl named Mia from Harmony Hollow. Mia had always admired Flora's magic and was eager to help. Flora explained the situation and asked Mia to accompany her on the quest to the enchanted glade. With a nod of determination, Mia agreed. The two set off through the Whispering Woods, where the trees seemed to whisper encouraging words as they passed. Their journey took them through enchanted meadows, over sparkling streams, and into the heart of a mysterious mist that concealed the entrance to the enchanted glade. As they ventured deeper into the mist, the path became less clear, and shadows danced around them. Flora and Mia reached a shimmering archway leading into the glade. Beyond the archway lay the Rainbow Fountain, a magnificent waterfall cascading with liquid light in every color of the rainbow. The sight was breathtaking, but their joy was short-lived. At the base of the fountain, they found an old, rusted chest with a faded inscription: "To restore the magic, one must prove their heart's true desire." The chest was locked, and beside it was a riddle inscribed on a golden plaque: "I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have lungs, yet I need air. I do not have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I?" Mia pondered the riddle carefully. Flora, sensing Mia's deep focus, encouraged her. After a moment, Mia's eyes lit up with understanding. "A fire," she answered confidently. The chest creaked open, revealing a sparkling, golden key inside. Flora took the key and unlocked a hidden compartment in the Rainbow Fountain. The compartment contained a small, radiant vial filled with shimmering liquid. "This is the essence of eternal bloom," Flora explained. "It will restore the magic of the Whispering Woods." With the vial in hand, Flora and Mia made their way back to Harmony Hollow. Flora carefully sprinkled the essence of eternal bloom over the fading flowers and plants in her garden. As the liquid touched the leaves and petals, they began to regain their vibrant colors, and the garden once again flourished with an array of dazzling hues. The villagers of Harmony Hollow were overjoyed to see their beloved garden revived. They celebrated Flora and Mia with a grand feast and heartfelt gratitude. Flora thanked Mia for her bravery and determination, and the two friends shared a moment of happiness as they looked upon the beautiful garden that had been saved. From that day on, Flora's magic continued to bring life and color to Harmony Hollow, and Mia's bravery became a cherished tale in the village. The enchanted glade and the rainbow fountain remained a symbol of hope and renewal, and the bond between Flora and Mia became a lasting friendship that was remembered for generations to come. And so, Harmony Hollow thrived in the glow of its renewed beauty, and Flora and Mia lived happily, knowing that true friendship and courage could overcome any challenge. And they all lived happily ever after. In a kingdom far away, nestled between emerald hills and golden fields, there lay a hidden village known as Bramblewood. Bramblewood was a charming place where the air was always filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the laughter of its cheerful inhabitants. Yet, the village had one great mystery, an ancient lantern that hung in the village square, said to be enchanted. The lantern was old, with intricate designs of flowers and stars, and it glowed faintly with a warm, golden light. Legend had it that this lantern held the power to grant one wish to anyone who could solve its riddle. But for years, no one had been able to unravel the mystery. One fine day, a brave and kind-hearted girl named Lila arrived in Bramblewood. She had heard tales of the enchanted lantern and was eager to try her luck. Lila was known throughout the land for her adventurous spirit and her generous heart. She believed that if she could solve the riddle, she could use the wish to help those in need. As she entered the village, she saw the lantern swinging gently in the breeze. The villagers gathered around it, admiring its beauty but feeling a bit wary of its magic. Lila approached the lantern with a confident smile and said, "I'd like to try solving the lantern's riddle." The village elder, an old man with a long, white beard, nodded. "Very well, young one. The lantern's riddle has perplexed many, but we will see if you have the answer." The lantern's light flickered and then, magically, a riddle appeared in the air. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Lila pondered the riddle deeply. She thought about the clues: something that grows but isn't alive, needs air but not lungs, and is extinguished by water. She walked around the village, observing the landscape and talking to the villagers, searching for inspiration. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over Bramblewood, Lila noticed a small fire burning in a nearby hearth. The flames danced and flickered, casting warm light and shadows. Suddenly, it struck her. With a look of realization, Lila hurried back to the lantern and declared, "The answer is fire." The lantern's light intensified, and a soft, melodious chime echoed through the village. The riddle was solved. The lantern's glow brightened, filling the village square with a warm, comforting light. A shimmering figure appeared before Lila. It was a benevolent spirit with a crown of stars and a flowing robe of silver. The spirit spoke in a gentle voice, "You have solved the riddle with wisdom and insight. As a reward, you may make a wish. Remember, a wish made with a selfless heart brings the greatest reward." Lila thought about her village back home and the people who struggled. She closed her eyes and wished, "I wish for the people of Bramblewood to always have light and warmth, so they never feel lonely or cold." The spirit smiled warmly and said, "Your wish is noble and kind. The magic of the lantern will ensure that Bramblewood will always have light and warmth, and the hearts of its people will always be filled with joy and togetherness." With that, the spirit vanished, and the lantern's light became even more radiant. The village was filled with a soft, golden glow that lasted all night, making everyone feel cozy and secure. The villagers were overjoyed. They celebrated Lila's bravery and kindness, and from that day on, the lantern's light never dimmed. The village of Bramblewood thrived, and its people lived happily, knowing they were always surrounded by warmth and light. Lila returned to her own village with a heart full of happiness, knowing she had made a difference. And whenever she looked up at the stars, she remembered the enchanted lantern and the magic it brought to Bramblewood. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where lush meadows met towering mountains, there was a village called Eldoria. This village was renowned for its beauty and the harmonious melodies that filled the air each day. The source of these melodies was a grand, old tree in the village square known as the Melody Tree. It was said that the tree sang a magical tune that kept the village prosperous and joyful. For as long as anyone could remember, the Melody Tree had been cared for by a kind-hearted woman named Seraphina. She was known as the keeper of the tree and was believed to have a special connection to the tree's magic. However, one fateful winter, the tree's song began to fade, and the village fell into silence and sorrow. The once lively streets of Eldoria became quiet, and the villagers worried that the tree's magic was disappearing. Among the villagers was a curious and courageous young girl named Alina. She loved the Melody Tree and felt a deep sadness seeing it lose its magic. Determined to restore the tree's song and bring joy back to her village, Alina decided to set out on a quest to uncover the mystery behind the fading melody. Alina visited Seraphina, who was tending to the now silent tree. "Seraphina," Alina said, "I want to help restore the Melody Tree's song. Can you tell me what might be causing the silence?" Seraphina looked at Alina with a mixture of hope and sadness. "The melody is fading because the heart of the tree has been stolen. To restore it, you must find the heart and return it to the tree. The heart is hidden in a distant land, guarded by 3 magical creatures. You must prove your worth by completing 3 tasks." Alina, resolute and ready, set out on her quest. Her journey took her through dense forests, over misty mountains, and across shimmering rivers. The first magical creature she encountered was a wise old fox named Finn, who guarded the entrance to an ancient grove. To gain access to the grove, Finn said, "You must solve a riddle. Here it is: I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Alina thought deeply and then answered, "An echo." Finn nodded and allowed her to pass. Within the grove, Alina found a golden feather that was the first key to her journey. The next task led Alina to a crystal-clear lake where a graceful swan named Celine lived. Celine's task was to test Alina's kindness and bravery. In the center of the lake, Celine said, "is a pearl that has been lost for ages. Retrieve it and return it to me, and you shall earn the second key." Alina swam through the cool waters and found the pearl resting on a bed of soft reeds. She returned the pearl to Celine, who rewarded her with a shimmering blue gem. For the final task, Alina had to climb the tallest mountain to find a wise dragon named Thorn. Thorn guarded the last key, a radiant emerald. "To prove your worth," Thorn rumbled, "you must tell me what you believe is the true source of magic." Alina looked up at Thorn and replied, "The true source of magic is love and kindness. It is the heart's ability to care for others and to bring joy to the world." Thorn's eyes softened, and he handed her the radiant emerald. "You have answered wisely. Take this key, and may it aid you in your quest." With all 3 keys in hand, a golden feather, a shimmering blue gem, and a radiant emerald, Alina made her way back to Eldoria. She arrived at the Melody Tree and placed the keys in a hidden compartment beneath the tree's bark. The moment she did, the heart of the tree, a brilliant crystal, began to glow with a warm, golden light. The Melody Tree's song returned, more beautiful and enchanting than ever before. The villagers rejoiced as the tree's magical melody filled the air, bringing joy and life back to Eldoria. The once silent streets were alive with laughter and music once more. Seraphina thanked Alina for her bravery and kindness, and the villagers celebrated her as a hero. Alina's quest to restore the Melody Tree's song became a cherished tale in Eldoria, a reminder of the power of courage, love, and the magic that lies in a pure heart. And so, the village of Eldoria continued to thrive under the melody of the grand old tree, and Alina's story was passed down through generations, inspiring others to embrace their own quests with a heart full of hope and kindness. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and emerald forests, there was a magical village known as Willowbrook. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, and their days were filled with laughter, song, and the occasional mischief of enchanted woodland creatures. In the heart of Willowbrook stood a grand, ancient oak tree named Elder Oak. It was said that Elder Oak had witnessed the rise and fall of many generations and that it held the wisdom of the ages within its gnarled branches. But as wise as Elder Oak was, it had one secret: it was the guardian of a magical crystal known as the Heart of the Forest. The Heart of the Forest was a glowing, emerald-green gem that had the power to bring peace and prosperity to the land. However, it was also said that if the crystal were ever stolen, a dark curse would befall the kingdom. To protect it, Elder Oak had always kept the crystal hidden deep within its trunk, accessible only to those with pure hearts. One crisp autumn morning, a young girl named Elara woke to find a strange sight outside her cottage. An enormous, swirling mist had settled over the village, and the usually cheerful woodland creatures were nowhere to be seen. Alarmed, Elara decided to investigate. She grabbed her cloak, a basket of berries, and set off towards Elder Oak. As Elara approached the ancient tree, she noticed that the mist grew thicker, and the branches of Elder Oak seemed to tremble. The heart of the tree had dimmed, and it was clear that something was terribly wrong. Determined to help, Elara touched the trunk gently and whispered, "Elder Oak, what has happened?" From within the tree, a soft, sorrowful voice replied, "The heart of the forest has been stolen, and the land is growing darker by the minute. Only a true-hearted soul can retrieve it and restore balance." Elara felt a chill run down her spine, but she nodded resolutely. "I will find it. Please, tell me where to start." Elder Oak's voice was barely a whisper. "Follow the path through the mist. It will lead you to the Shadow Realm. There, you will find the lair of the thief. Beware, for darkness can cloud even the purest of hearts." With a deep breath, Elara ventured into the swirling mist. As she walked, the world around her grew darker and more twisted. Trees seemed to twist into eerie shapes, and shadows whispered unsettling secrets. But Elara pressed on, guided by a faint, glowing light that grew stronger with each step. Finally, she arrived at a cavern entrance shrouded in shadows. With a steady heart, she entered. Inside, the cavern was filled with a soft, eerie glow from crystals embedded in the walls. At the center of the cavern, on a pedestal, sat the Heart of the Forest, surrounded by swirling dark energy. Guarding the crystal was a shadowy figure cloaked in black. The figure turned to face Elara, revealing a face that seemed to shift and change with the shadows. "Who dares to challenge me?" the figure's voice echoed menacingly. "I am Elara, and I have come to reclaim the Heart of the Forest," she declared bravely. The figure laughed, a sound like rustling leaves. "You think you can take it from me? This crystal has given me power beyond your imagination. But I shall offer you a challenge. Solve my riddle, and I will let you take the heart. Fail, and you shall be lost in darkness forever." Elara nodded, steeling herself. "What is your riddle?" The figure's eyes glowed faintly as it spoke. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Elara thought deeply. The cavern seemed to hold its breath as she pondered. Then, she remembered the whispers of the wind she had heard in the forest, the sounds that carried messages without a physical form. "An echo," she answered confidently. The shadowy figure's eyes widened in surprise, and with a wave of its hand, the dark energy surrounding the Heart of the Forest dissipated. "You have solved the riddle, and your heart is indeed pure. Take the crystal and restore the balance." Elara approached the pedestal and carefully lifted the Heart of the Forest. As she held it in her hands, the cavern began to brighten, and the shadows retreated. She made her way back through the mist, and with each step, the world around her grew lighter and more vibrant. When she returned to Willowbrook, the mist had vanished, and the villagers rejoiced at her return. Elder Oak's branches sparkled with renewed vitality, and the Heart of the Forest was safely returned to its resting place within the tree. The kingdom flourished once more, and Elara's bravery became a cherished tale told for generations. The enchanted creatures of the forest danced and sang, celebrating the return of peace. And so, the kingdom of Willowbrook thrived under the watchful gaze of Elder Oak, protected by the pure heart of a brave young girl. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a bustling kingdom known as Eldoria, there was a hidden workshop at the edge of the Whispering Woods. This workshop belonged to an elderly woman named Eloan, who was known for her exquisite weaving. What no one knew was that Eloan's loom was enchanted, capable of weaving not just fabric but the very threads of destiny. The loom was a marvel of magic and craftsmanship, adorned with intricate patterns that glowed softly in the moonlight. Eloan wove tapestries that told stories of the past, present, and future. The villagers admired her creations, but they were unaware of the true power hidden within the loom. One crisp autumn morning, a young girl named Mira, who lived in a nearby village, came to visit Eloan. Mira was a dreamer with a heart full of curiosity. She had always been fascinated by the stories of Eldoria's past and was eager to learn more about her own future. Eloan welcomed Mira warmly and offered her tea. As they chatted, Mira's gaze fell upon the enchanted loom, and she couldn't help but be drawn to its beauty. "What does this loom do, Eloan?" Mira asked. Eloan smiled, her eyes twinkling with the wisdom of ages. "This loom weaves the threads of destiny. It tells the story of our lives and the choices we make." Mira's eyes widened with wonder. "Can it show me my future?" Eloan nodded. "It can, but the future is always changing. It reveals possibilities rather than certainties." Intrigued, Mira asked if she could try weaving on the loom. Eloan agreed, guiding her through the ancient techniques of weaving. Mira's hands moved gracefully, and as she worked, the loom began to glow with a soft, golden light. Suddenly, the loom revealed a tapestry that showed a path through a dense forest. At the end of the path was a magnificent, golden tree, its branches reaching towards the sky. Beneath the tree was a figure with a radiant aura, surrounded by light. Eloan studied the tapestry and said, "This shows a glimpse of a great journey. The golden tree represents a moment of destiny. To reach it, you must venture through the Whispering Woods and overcome challenges that will test your heart and courage." Mira felt a surge of excitement. "I want to go on this journey. How can I find the golden tree?" Eloan handed Mira a small, enchanted compass. "This compass will guide you. Follow its direction and trust in yourself. The Whispering Woods can be tricky, but your heart will lead you true." With the compass in hand, Mira set off towards the Whispering Woods. The forest was magical, with trees that whispered secrets and streams that sang sweet melodies. Mira followed the compass's guidance, encountering various challenges along the way. She faced a riddle posed by a mischievous sprite, who demanded an answer before allowing her to pass. Mira used her wit and kindness to solve the riddle, gaining the sprite's respect and a clue to her path. Next, Mira encountered a majestic stag whose antlers sparkled like stars. The stag challenged her to a test of bravery, asking her to cross a bridge made of shimmering light that spanned a deep chasm. Mira, though frightened, trusted in herself and crossed the bridge with courage. Finally, Mira reached a clearing where a fierce storm raged. The compass pointed directly towards the storm, and Mira realized that the storm was a test of perseverance. With determination, she forged ahead, guided by the compass and her own inner strength. As Mira emerged from the storm, she found herself beneath the golden tree from the tapestry. The tree's branches glowed with a warm, inviting light. Beneath it stood a wise, ethereal figure who welcomed Mira with a gentle smile. "You have proven yourself worthy, Mira," the figure said. "The golden tree represents the realization of your true potential. You have shown courage, wisdom, and kindness in your journey. This tree will grant you a gift that will help you fulfill your destiny." The figure presented Mira with a golden thread, shimmering with the light of the tree. "This thread is a symbol of your journey and the possibilities that lie ahead. Use it to weave your own path and help others along the way." Mira thanked the figure and made her way back to Eldoria with the golden thread. She returned to Eloan's workshop, where she shared her adventure and the gift she received. Eloan was pleased and proud. "You have discovered the true magic of the loom and the importance of following your heart. The golden thread will serve as a reminder of your journey and the light you carry within. Mira used the golden thread to weave beautiful tapestries that told the stories of her adventure and the lessons she learned. Her tapestries inspired others to embark on their own journeys and embrace the possibilities of their destinies. And so, Mira's bravery and the enchanted loom's magic became a cherished legend in Eldoria, reminding everyone that the threads of destiny are woven with courage, wisdom, and the light of the heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled between emerald hills and a sparkling river, there was a tale of a mystical dream weaver. The dream weaver was said to possess the power to weave dreams into reality and bring joy and prosperity to those who were pure of heart. The villagers had long believed that one day, the dream weaver would visit their land and bestow its magic upon them. In this village lived a young boy named Leo, who was known for his boundless imagination and kindness. Leo loved to dream of far-off places and magical adventures, and he often shared his dreams with the villagers, bringing them comfort and hope. One day, Leo learned that the Dreamweaver was real and that it had been hiding in the forest for centuries. Determined to help his village, Leo decided to find the Dreamweaver and bring its magic back to his home. The first challenge, the Forest of Whispers. Leo's journey began in the Forest of Whispers, a mystical forest where the trees seemed to murmur ancient secrets. As he walked along the winding path, he came upon a wise old fox with fur that shimmered like moonlight. To pass through the Forest of Whispers, the fox said with a voice as gentle as the breeze, "You must solve this riddle. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Leo thought for a moment and answered, "A map." The fox's eyes glowed with approval, and it pointed to a hidden path that led deeper into the forest. "Follow this path to reach the next challenge," the fox instructed. The second challenge, the Bridge of Echoes. Following the path, Leo soon arrived at the Bridge of Echoes, a graceful bridge arching over a serene, shimmering lake. The bridge was guarded by a mystical swan with feathers that sparkled like stars. To cross the Bridge of Echoes, the swan said with a melodic voice, "You must answer this question. What has keys but cannot open locks, space but no room, and you can play but not touch?" Leo pondered the question and replied, "A piano." The swan's eyes twinkled with delight, and it spread its wings to reveal a shimmering pathway across the lake. Leo carefully crossed the bridge, feeling a sense of excitement as he approached the next part of his journey. The third challenge, the Cave of Reflections. On the other side of the lake, Leo discovered the Cave of Reflections, a grand cave with walls that seemed to mirror the starry sky. At the entrance of the cave was a grand, ancient door adorned with celestial symbols. A soft, soothing voice echoed from within the cave, "To unlock this door and find the Dreamweaver, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with sincerity." Leo took a deep breath and spoke earnestly, "My deepest wish is to find the Dreamweaver and bring its magic back to my village. I want to use its power to bring joy and prosperity to my people." The cave's walls shimmered with a warm, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a magnificent chamber bathed in moonlight. In the center of the chamber stood the Dreamweaver, a figure cloaked in shimmering stardust, surrounded by glowing threads of light. The revelation, the Dreamweaver's gift. The Dreamweaver smiled at Leo and spoke in a voice like a gentle breeze, "You have shown great courage and sincerity, young dreamer. The magic of dreams lies not just in the weaving of wishes but in the hearts of those who believe in them." With a wave of its hand, the Dreamweaver imbued Leo with a magical thread of stardust, which glowed softly and sparkled like the night sky. This thread holds the power to turn dreams into reality. Use it wisely, and share its magic with your village. With the Dreamweaver's gift in hand, Leo returned to his village. As he shared the stardust thread with the villagers, its magic began to weave through their lives, bringing newfound joy and prosperity. The once quiet village became vibrant and bustling, with laughter and happiness filling the air. The villagers celebrated Leo's bravery and the magic of the Dreamweaver, cherishing the gift that had transformed their lives. The tale of Leo's quest and the Dreamweaver's gift became a beloved story in the village, a reminder of the power of dreams and the magic that lies within the hearts of those who dare to believe. Under the starlit sky and the shimmering magic of the Dreamweaver, the village thrived once more, forever grateful for the boy who had brought their dreams to life. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled at the edge of an ancient forest, there lived a young baker named Emma. Emma was known for her delectable pastries and warm, kind heart. Every morning, the smell of fresh bread and sweet rolls would waft through the village, drawing people to her cozy bakery. Emma loved her village, and she loved to see the smiles her treats brought to people's faces. One evening, as Emma was closing her bakery, an old woman with a tattered cloak and a weathered face hobbled in. She looked tired and hungry. Emma, without a second thought, offered the woman a warm meal and a place to rest. The old woman thanked her and, after finishing her meal, revealed that she was a powerful enchantress named Elara. "Kind Emma," Elara said, "you have shown me great kindness. In return, I shall grant you a boon. Ask for anything, and if it is within my power, I will grant it." Emma, always thinking of others, asked, "Can you lift the curse that has befallen the enchanted forest? The villagers say it is filled with dangerous creatures and dark magic. If the forest were safe again, our village could thrive." Elara nodded solemnly. "The curse on the forest is strong, but it can be broken by someone with a pure heart and unwavering courage. You must venture into the forest, find the heart of the forest, and cleanse it with this enchanted water." She handed Emma a small, ornate vial filled with glowing liquid. "Beware, for the journey will be fraught with peril." Determined to save her village, Emma set out at dawn the next day. She packed a small bag with food, water, and the enchanted vial. The villagers, though worried for her safety, wished her well and prayed for her safe return. As Emma entered the enchanted forest, she felt a chill in the air. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching for the sky. Shadows flitted between the trees, and eerie sounds echoed through the forest. Emma's heart pounded with fear, but she pressed on, determined to break the curse. After hours of walking, Emma came across a wounded fox lying by the side of the path. Its leg was caught in a cruel trap. Emma's heart went out to the poor creature, and she gently freed it from the trap, bandaging its wound with a strip of cloth from her dress. "Thank you, kind human," the fox said, to Emma's surprise. "I am Finn, guardian of the forest. Your compassion has earned my trust. I will guide you to the heart of the forest." With Finn by her side, Emma felt more confident. They journeyed deeper into the forest, encountering various magical creatures along the way. Some were friendly and offered their help, while others were hostile and had to be avoided. Finn's knowledge of the forest paths proved invaluable. Eventually, they reached a clearing where a magnificent tree stood. Its trunk was wide and ancient, its branches spreading out like a protective canopy. This was the heart of the forest. However, it was surrounded by a dark, swirling mist and guarded by a fearsome creature, a gigantic, black wolf with eyes that glowed like embers. The wolf growled menacingly as Emma approached, but she stood her ground. "I come to break the curse and restore the forest," she declared, holding up the vial of enchanted water. The wolf lunged at her, but Finn leapt forward, distracting the beast. Seizing the moment, Emma ran to the tree and poured the enchanted water onto its roots. The ground trembled, and a brilliant light erupted from the tree, dispelling the dark mist and sending the wolf fleeing into the shadows. The forest began to transform. The twisted trees straightened, flowers bloomed, and sunlight filtered through the canopy. The curse was broken. Elara appeared before Emma, her face filled with pride. "You have done it, brave Emma. You have saved the enchanted forest and your village. Your courage and kindness have restored balance to the land." Emma returned to her village as a hero. The villagers celebrated her bravery, and soon, the once feared enchanted forest became a place of wonder and beauty. People from near and far came to visit, bringing prosperity to the village. Emma continued to bake her delicious treats, but now, her bakery was even more popular. She often took walks in the now enchanted forest, where she was always greeted by her friend Finn and the other magical creatures she had met on her journey. And so, the tale of Emma, the brave little baker who broke the curse of the enchanted forest, was passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of kindness, courage, and a pure heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and rivers sang sweet melodies, there was a quaint village called Eldergrove. Eldergrove was nestled in a lush valley, surrounded by towering trees and blooming meadows. It was a peaceful place where magic was as common as wildflowers, but it was the village's greatest secret that made it truly special: an enchanted lantern. This lantern wasn't just an ordinary light, it had the power to grant one wish to anyone pure of heart who discovered its magic. It had been hidden away in the village for centuries, waiting for the right person to find it. The story of the lantern began with a young girl named Lila. Lila was known throughout Eldergrove for her kindness and bravery. One day, as she explored the forest near her village, she stumbled upon an ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Curiosity twinkling in her eyes, Lila reached inside and pulled out a dusty, ornate lantern. The lantern was beautiful but covered in cobwebs and dust. As she wiped it clean, a soft glow began to emanate from it. Lila's heart leapt with excitement, for she had heard the legends of the magical lantern but never truly believed they were real. The next morning, Lila returned to the forest to consult with the village elder, wise old Grandma Agnes. She had seen many things in her lifetime and knew the stories well. Grandma Agnes's eyes widened when she saw the lantern. "This is the fabled lantern of Eldergrove," she said, her voice trembling with awe. "It is said to grant a single wish to someone who is truly pure of heart." Lila's mind raced with possibilities. She thought of wishing for endless wealth or power, but those thoughts felt hollow compared to the warmth she felt when helping others. She knew her wish had to be something that would benefit not just her but the entire village. As she walked through Eldergrove, she saw the villagers facing various troubles. The crops had failed due to a recent drought, and the well that supplied water was almost dry. The villagers were disheartened, and their once vibrant community seemed to be losing hope. Lila knew what she had to do. That night, she gathered the villagers and explained her plan. With their support, she made her wish. Holding the lantern high, she said, "I wish for Eldergrove to be blessed with abundant water, so our crops can grow, our wells can fill, and our village can thrive once more." The lantern glowed brightly, and a gentle breeze swirled around them, carrying with it the soothing scent of rain. The next morning, the skies opened up, and a soft, steady rain began to fall. The villagers cheered with joy as the dry earth soaked up the much-needed water. The crops began to recover, and the well filled to the brim. As days turned into weeks, Eldergrove flourished like never before. The once dying crops were now thriving, and the village returned to its vibrant, joyous self. Lila's selfless wish had not only restored the village but also strengthened the bonds between the villagers. One evening, as Lila walked through the meadow, she saw a small, golden light fluttering in the air. It was the spirit of the lantern, now free of its duties. The spirit spoke to her in a gentle, melodious voice, "Thank you, Lila. Your pure heart and selfless wish have brought joy to Eldergrove. Though the lantern's magic is now fulfilled, the true magic lies in the kindness you've shown." With that, the spirit faded into the twilight, leaving behind a gentle, warm glow that bathed the village in a serene light. From that day on, the lantern was kept in the village square as a reminder of the power of selflessness and the magic that lives within every kind heart. And so, Eldergrove thrived, not just from the blessings of a magical lantern but from the love and care of its people. As for Lila, she continued to help her village with the same kindness and bravery that had guided her to her greatest adventure. And they all lived happily ever after. In a small, picturesque village surrounded by rolling hills and lush forests, there was an ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. It was said that the tree could speak to those who listened closely, sharing secrets and tales of long ago. Among the villagers was a young girl named Alara, who loved the Whispering Willow more than anyone. She spent hours by its trunk, listening to its gentle whispers and imagining the adventures of old. One crisp autumn morning, Alara discovered something unusual: a small, golden key buried at the base of the tree. Curious, she picked it up and noticed it was engraved with delicate symbols she didn't recognize. Excited, she rushed to show it to her grandmother, who knew many of the village's old legends. Her grandmother, a wise woman with twinkling eyes, examined the key carefully. "This is a magical key," she said. "It is said to unlock a hidden realm that has been sealed for centuries. The Whispering Willow must have chosen you for a reason." Elara's heart raced with excitement. She had always dreamed of discovering something magical. With her grandmother's blessing, she returned to the Whispering Willow and began to search for a lock that matched the key. After some searching, Elara found a small, hidden door in the roots of the tree. The door was almost invisible, covered with moss and vines. With trembling hands, she inserted the golden key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a glowing tunnel lined with sparkling stones. Taking a deep breath, Elara stepped through and found herself in a wondrous land that seemed to be a blend of twilight and dawn. The sky was filled with shimmering stars, and the air was fragrant with blooming flowers. In this magical realm, she met a kind and majestic creature, a moonlit deer with antlers that glowed like moonbeams. The deer introduced herself as Lyra and explained that this land was called Elaria, a place where dreams and reality mingled. It had been hidden away to protect its magic from those who might misuse it. Lyra told Elara that Elaria was facing a grave danger. A shadowy figure named Obsidian, who sought to steal the land's magic for himself, was threatening the realm. Only someone with a pure heart and brave spirit could stop him. Determined to help, Elara agreed to join Lyra on a quest to find the Heartstone, a powerful gem that could banish Obsidian's dark magic. Together, they traveled through enchanted forests, across crystal-clear lakes, and up misty mountains. Along their journey, Elara used her kindness and cleverness to overcome various challenges. She solved riddles posed by wise old owls, helped playful fairies in exchange for clues, and navigated through a maze of shimmering fog. Finally, after many trials, they reached the Cave of Echoes, where the Heartstone was said to be hidden. The cave was dark and filled with eerie whispers, but Elara's bravery shone brightly. She found the Heartstone resting on a pedestal, glowing with a warm, golden light. Just as they were about to leave, Obsidian appeared, shrouded in darkness. He tried to steal the Heartstone, but Elara stood her ground. With the power of the Heartstone and her unwavering courage, she confronted Obsidian and banished him from Elaria. With the realm safe once more, Lyra thanked Elara and offered her a special gift, a silver locket containing a fragment of the Heartstone. This locket will always remind you of the magic within you and the adventure you undertook. Elara returned to her village with the locket and a heart full of wonder. The Whispering Willow welcomed her back, and the villagers listened in awe as she recounted her magical journey. From that day on, the Whispering Willow's whispers spoke of bravery and kindness, and Elara's tale became a cherished story passed down through generations. The village thrived with the magic of Elaria, and Elara's bravery was remembered as a beacon of hope and adventure. And so, under the watchful gaze of the Whispering Willow, Elara's life was forever touched by the magic she had discovered, and the realm of Elaria remained a hidden wonder, waiting for the next pure-hearted soul to find its secrets. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between misty mountains and lush, enchanted forests, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the land for her kind heart and her gift for communicating with animals. She lived with her grandmother, the village healer, in a cozy cottage surrounded by blooming flowers and towering trees. One morning, as Elara tended to the garden, a mysterious raven landed on her window sill. Its feathers shimmered like moonlight, and its eyes gleamed with an unusual intelligence. The raven cawed softly, catching Elara's attention. It held a tiny scroll in its beak, which it carefully dropped at her feet. Curious, Elara unrolled the scroll. It was an old, faded map with a single message written in elegant script: to find the heart of the forest, follow the path of the silver oak. Below the message was a drawing of a magnificent tree with leaves that sparkled like silver. Intrigued by the message, Elara showed the map to her grandmother. The old woman's eyes widened with recognition. The heart of the forest, she said, is a legendary gem said to hold the power to heal and bring prosperity. It is hidden deep within the enchanted woods, protected by ancient magic. Determined to find the heart and help her village, which had recently faced a terrible drought, Elara set off on her adventure. With the map in hand, she ventured into the forest, her heart full of hope and bravery. The enchanted woods were a place of wonder and mystery. The trees whispered secrets, and the flowers glowed with an ethereal light. As Elara walked, she encountered various magical creatures. A friendly fox guided her through a maze of thorns, a wise old owl shared riddles to unlock hidden paths, and a family of fireflies illuminated her way during the twilight hours. After many days of traveling, Elara arrived at a glade where a towering silver oak stood in majestic splendor. Its leaves shimmered in the moonlight, just as the map had described. At the base of the tree was a small, shimmering pool, its waters reflecting the stars above. Elara approached the pool and saw a beautiful crystal lying on a bed of moss. It was the heart of the forest, glowing with a soft, warm light. As she reached for the gem, the ground trembled, and a gentle but stern voice echoed through the glade. To take the heart, one must prove their pure intentions, the voice said. What would you do with such power? Elara thought carefully before answering. I seek to bring healing and prosperity to my village, which has suffered from a great drought. I wish to use the heart to restore our lands and help those in need. The voice was silent for a moment, then the shimmering light of the heart grew brighter. Your intentions are pure, it said. You may take the heart, but remember, true magic lies not in the gem, but in the kindness of your heart and the strength of your spirit. With gratitude and reverence, Elara carefully took the heart of the forest and began her journey home. Along the way, the forest seemed to come alive with joy, as if celebrating the return of its precious gem. When she finally reached her village, Elara presented the heart to her grandmother. The old healer placed the gem in a special altar, and its light spread throughout the land. The drought ended, rivers flowed once more, and the village flourished with bountiful harvests and renewed hope. Elara's bravery and kindness were celebrated by all, and the village prospered like never before. The enchanted forest remained a place of magic and mystery, but now its heart was forever connected to the village it had helped save. And so, Elara lived happily, knowing that the true magic of the heart of the forest was not just in its power, but in the spirit of those who sought to use it for good. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. In the heart of the whispering woods, where the trees seemed to tell secrets to those who listened closely, lay a quaint village named Willowbrook. The village was renowned for its serenity and charm, and its people lived in harmony with the forest. The villagers often spoke of a magical lantern that was said to grant a single wish each century to those who found it. The tale of the enchanted lantern had become legend, whispered around campfires and told to children as they drifted off to sleep. It was said that the lantern was hidden deep within the forest, protected by a series of challenges designed to test the heart and spirit of the seeker. One bright morning, a young girl named Amelia, with eyes as curious as the morning sun and a heart full of dreams, decided to seek out the legendary lantern. Her village had fallen on hard times, and Amelia wished to use the lantern's magic to bring prosperity and joy back to Willowbrook. With a backpack full of essentials and a heart full of determination, Amelia ventured into the whispering woods. As she walked, the trees seemed to part just for her, guiding her deeper into the forest. The first challenge she encountered was a babbling brook that flowed with sparkling, crystal-clear water. On the other side of the brook stood a wise old turtle named Thaddeus, who was known to be the guardian of the brook. Thaddeus spoke in a slow, deliberate manner. To cross the brook, you must solve a riddle. Only then will the path appear. Amelia nodded and listened intently as Thaddeus recited the riddle. I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Whenever I go, darkness flies. What am I? Amelia thought for a moment and then answered confidently, a cloud. Thaddeus smiled, and with a nod of approval, the water of the brook parted to reveal a stone path that led across. Amelia carefully made her way to the other side. As she continued her journey, Amelia reached the second challenge, a dense thicket of brambles and thorns, which seemed almost impassable. Standing at the entrance was a gentle deer named Elara, whose eyes shone with kindness. Elara spoke softly, "To pass through the thicket, you must show your compassion. There is a small bird trapped in the brambles. Free it, and the path will open." Amelia approached the thicket and found the tiny bird, its feathers entangled in the thorny branches. With great care and patience, Amelia freed the bird and gently placed it on her outstretched hand. The bird chirped gratefully before flying off, and as it did, the brambles parted to reveal a clear path. The final challenge took Amelia to a serene, moonlit clearing. In the center of the clearing was a beautiful, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. From within the hollow, a soft, melodic voice called out. The voice belonged to the Moonlight Fairy, who was the final guardian of the enchanted lantern. The Moonlight Fairy fluttered gracefully before Amelia and said, "To find the lantern, you must perform a task of the heart. Share with me your most heartfelt wish." Amelia took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My wish is to bring happiness and prosperity to my village, Willowbrook, so that everyone can live in peace and joy." The Moonlight Fairy's eyes sparkled with admiration. "A wish made from the heart is a powerful thing. Follow me." The fairy led Amelia to a hidden alcove behind the oak tree, where the enchanted lantern rested on a pedestal bathed in moonlight. The lantern was adorned with intricate designs and glowed with a soft, warm light. Amelia reached out and took the lantern gently in her hands. The Moonlight Fairy nodded. "You have proven yourself worthy of the lantern's magic. Make your wish, and it shall be granted." With a hopeful heart, Amelia whispered her wish into the lantern. The light within the lantern grew brighter and brighter until it enveloped the entire clearing. When the light finally faded, Amelia found herself back at the edge of the Whispering Woods. She returned to Willowbrook, and as she approached the village, she saw a wondrous transformation. The fields were lush with crops, the river sparkled with clear water, and the villagers greeted her with joyful smiles. The lantern's magic had indeed brought prosperity and happiness to Willowbrook. Amelia's bravery and pure-hearted wish became a cherished story in the village, and the enchanted lantern was placed in a special place of honor in the village square as a symbol of hope and the power of a kind heart. And so, Willowbrook thrived, and the legend of the enchanted lantern lived on, inspiring future generations to believe in the magic that lies within the power of a wish made from the heart. Once upon a time, in the enchanting kingdom of Aurelia, there was a village called Meadowbrook. Nestled between lush green hills and a crystal-clear river, Meadowbrook was known for its vibrant flowers and joyful inhabitants. The village was a place of harmony, where people and nature lived together in perfect balance. In Meadowbrook, there lived a young girl named Amara. Amara was known for her fiery red hair, her sparkling blue eyes, and her unwavering courage. She lived with her grandmother, who was the village healer, known for her wisdom and knowledge of herbs. Amara loved listening to her grandmother's stories, especially the one about the golden feather, a magical artifact said to grant any wish to the one who possessed it. The feather was believed to be hidden in the Forbidden Forest, a place no one dared to enter. One fateful day, a terrible drought struck Meadowbrook. The river dried up, the flowers withered, and the villagers grew desperate. Remembering the story of the golden feather, Amara decided to find it and save her village. With a heart full of determination, she set off into the Forbidden Forest, accompanied by her loyal dog, Shadow. The forest was dense and mysterious, with towering trees and a thick canopy that blocked out the sunlight. As Amara and Shadow ventured deeper, they encountered their first challenge, a deep, dark chasm with no visible way across. Suddenly, a majestic eagle appeared and perched on a nearby branch. "To cross the chasm, you must answer my riddle," the eagle said in a wise voice. "What has keys but can't open locks, has space but no room, and can enter but not go outside?" Amara thought for a moment, then smiled. "A keyboard," she replied. The eagle nodded and spread its wings, creating a bridge of shimmering light over the chasm. Amara and Shadow crossed safely and continued their journey. Soon, they arrived at a glade filled with flowers of every color, but the flowers were drooping and lifeless. In the center of the glade stood a beautiful unicorn, its horn dull and its eyes filled with sadness. To revive these flowers, you must show kindness, the unicorn said. Bring life back to this withered bloom. Amara knelt by a wilted flower and gently cupped it in her hands. She sang a soft, soothing melody, just as her grandmother had taught her. As she sang, the flower began to revive, its petals unfurling and its color returning. The unicorn smiled, and the glade burst into vibrant life, the flowers blooming once more. You have shown great kindness, the unicorn said. I will guide you to the golden feather. The unicorn led Amara and Shadow through the forest to a hidden grove where a magnificent tree stood. At the top of the tree, shimmering in the sunlight, was the golden feather. But as Amara reached for it, a dark figure emerged from the shadows. It was Morgoth, a wicked sorcerer who sought the feather's power for himself. The feather belongs to me. Morgoth snarled, his eyes blazing with malice. Amara stood her ground, her heart pounding but her spirit unwavering. The feather belongs to those who wish to use its power for good, she declared. You have no right to it. Morgoth raised his staff, ready to cast a spell, but Shadow leapt forward and knocked the staff from his hand. In the ensuing struggle, Amara climbed the tree and seized the golden feather. A brilliant light burst forth, banishing Morgoth from the grove and filling the forest with warmth and light. With the feather in her hands, Amara made her wish. I wish for the drought to end and for Meadowbrook to thrive once more. The golden feather glowed brightly, and a wave of magic spread throughout the land. The river flowed again, the flowers bloomed, and the fields turned green. Amara and Shadow returned to Meadowbrook as heroes, greeted with cheers and celebrations. The golden feather was placed in a special shrine in the village, where its magic could continue to protect and nourish the land. Amara's bravery and kindness were remembered for generations, her story inspiring others to act with courage and compassion. And so, the village of Meadowbrook thrived under the watchful eyes of its brave young hero, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met shimmering lakes, there was a small village named Luminera. The village was nestled in a valley surrounded by towering pine trees, and its people were known for their kindness and laughter. But Luminera had a secret. Hidden deep within its heart was a magical grove where an ancient melody was said to weave its way through the trees. In this village lived a young girl named Elara. She was known for her wild curls and an ever-present sparkle in her eyes. Elara had a special gift. She could play the violin like no one else. Her music was so enchanting that even the birds would pause their singing to listen. However, despite her talent, she often felt a pang of sadness because she could not uncover the source of the mysterious melody that whispered through the grove every evening. One crisp autumn afternoon, as Elara sat by the edge of the grove, she heard the melody more clearly than ever before. It was both haunting and beautiful, weaving through the trees like a silken thread. Determined to find its source, Elara decided that tonight she would stay in the grove. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the first stars began to twinkle, Elara nestled beneath a great oak tree with her violin. She began to play, her notes mingling with the ethereal melody that filled the air. For a while, there was only the music, until the grove began to shimmer with a soft, golden light. From the light stepped a graceful figure with silver hair that sparkled like moonlight. She was the fairy queen of the enchanted grove, a being of such beauty that even the stars seemed to dim in her presence. Welcome, Elara, the fairy queen said, her voice like a gentle breeze. I've been waiting for you. Elara was both astonished and delighted. You know my name? The fairy queen nodded. The grove has whispered of your talent and your quest. You wish to uncover the source of the melody? Elara's eyes widened. Yes, but why? Why does it matter so much to me? The fairy queen smiled. The melody is a gift from the heart of the grove. A reflection of its soul. It was given to us long ago to ensure that the magic of Luminera would never fade. But as time passed, the melody began to weaken, and the magic of the grove grew faint. Elara's heart ached at the thought. What can I do to help? The fairy queen extended her hand, and a small, glowing pendant appeared. This is the Harmony Amulet. It holds the essence of the grove's magic. By playing the melody with this amulet, you can renew the grove's enchantment. Elara took the amulet with reverence. How do I play it? Listen closely, the Fairy Queen said. The amulet will guide you. With the amulet in hand, Elara took her place beneath the oak tree. She closed her eyes and began to play her violin. As she did, the amulet began to glow brighter, and the melody she played resonated with the grove's ancient tune. The trees swayed in rhythm, and the stars above seemed to twinkle in harmony. The magic of the grove began to awaken. Flowers bloomed in the moonlight, and the once dim glow of the enchanted grove became a brilliant tapestry of light and color. Elara's heart swelled with joy as she felt the magic course through her music. When the final note faded into the night, the Fairy Queen appeared once more. You have done it, Elara. The magic of the grove is restored, thanks to your talent and your heart. Elara beamed. But what will happen now? The melody will remain strong, the Fairy Queen said. And you, Elara, will always be a part of it. Your music has become one with the grove's magic. Whenever you play, the grove will sing along with you. Elara felt a profound sense of peace. Thank you, Fairy Queen. As dawn approached, the Fairy Queen and the enchanted grove began to fade, their light merging with the morning sun. Elara returned to the village, where the people greeted her with cheers and wonder. She continued to play her violin, and every evening, as the sun set, her music would blend with the magical melody of the grove, creating a symphony that filled Luminera with joy and enchantment. And so, the village thrived, always bathed in the soft, golden light of the enchanted grove. Elara's music became a legend, and the melody that had once been a secret now danced through the hearts of everyone in Luminera. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land where the trees whispered secrets and the rivers danced with moonlight, there was a small village named Eldergrove. This village was known for its lush forests, where every tree had a story and every creature had a song. But most enchanting of all was the Whispering Forest, a magical woodland that no one had dared to enter for centuries. The Whispering Forest was said to be home to ancient magic and guarded by a wise and mysterious guardian named Eldin. Eldin was a gentle spirit who only revealed himself to those with pure hearts and brave spirits. The villagers had always lived in harmony with the forest, but they had never ventured into its depths, respecting the old tales that spoke of its magic and mystery. In the village of Eldergrove lived a curious and kind-hearted girl named Lyra. Lyra was known for her love of nature and her desire to help others. She had heard countless stories about the Whispering Forest and had always dreamed of exploring it. The forest had always fascinated her, especially because her grandmother had once told her about a hidden treasure within it that could heal any illness. One day, Lyra's grandmother fell ill with a mysterious ailment that no doctor could cure. Desperate to help her, Lyra remembered the old stories and decided that she must find the hidden treasure in the Whispering Forest to save her grandmother. With a heart full of hope and determination, Lyra prepared for her journey. She packed a small bag with essentials, a map, some food, and a special locket her grandmother had given her. The locket was said to hold the power of protection and was enchanted with a touch of the forest's magic. As the sun set and the moon rose high, casting a silvery glow over the land, Lyra ventured towards the edge of the Whispering Forest. The trees seemed to hum softly as she approached, their leaves rustling in a gentle breeze. She took a deep breath and stepped into the forest, guided by the soft, ethereal light. The forest was unlike anything Lyra had ever seen. The trees were tall and ancient, their branches stretching out like welcoming arms. The ground was carpeted with moss that glowed faintly, and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of wildflowers. Every now and then, Lyra would hear a soft whisper or a faint melody, as if the forest itself was speaking to her. As Lyra walked deeper into the forest, she came across a clearing with a crystal-clear pond at its center. The pond sparkled with a magical light, and a delicate bridge made of vines and flowers arched over it. Standing at the edge of the pond was Eldin, the guardian of the forest. He was a tall figure with a flowing robe of leaves and a crown of blossoms, his eyes shining with wisdom and kindness. Eldin smiled warmly at Lyra. "Welcome, brave traveler. I have been waiting for you. The forest has sensed your pure heart and your noble quest. Lyra was both amazed and nervous. I seek the hidden treasure of the Whispering Forest. My grandmother is ill, and I believe that this treasure can heal her. Eldon nodded solemnly. The treasure you seek is indeed powerful, but it is not easily found. The forest will only reveal it to those who prove themselves worthy through acts of kindness and bravery. Lyra listened intently as Eldon continued, you must complete 3 tasks. Each task will test your heart and your spirit. Only then will the forest guide you to the treasure. With determination in her eyes, Lyra agreed to the tasks. Eldon led her to the first challenge, a grove where magical creatures were trapped in enchanted vines. They had been imprisoned by a dark spell that had spread through the forest. Lyra saw that the vines were thick and tangled, but she did not hesitate. She worked tirelessly, carefully unraveling the vines and freeing the creatures. The animals, including fairies and small woodland creatures, chirped and fluttered with joy as they were set free. Lyra felt a deep sense of satisfaction knowing she had helped them. For the second task, Eldon took Lyra to a hill where a giant tree had fallen, blocking the path for many travelers. The tree was enormous, and Lyra knew it would be a great challenge to move it. With Eldon's guidance, she used all her strength and creativity, using ropes and branches to slowly and carefully clear the path. As Lyra worked, she felt the support of the forest. The animals and fairies she had helped earlier came to lend a hand, and together they managed to move the tree. The path was cleared, and travelers would once again be able to pass through. The final task was the most challenging. Eldon led Lyra to a dark part of the forest where the magic had begun to fade. The plants were wilting, and the air was heavy with sadness. Lyra needed to restore the magic by planting enchanted seeds that would bring the forest back to life. Lyra worked with dedication, planting the seeds and watering them with the enchanted water from the pond. As she did so, she sang a soothing song that she remembered from her grandmother's tales. The magic began to return, and the forest started to bloom with vibrant colors once again. Having completed the 3 tasks, Lyra returned to Eldon. The guardian was pleased and led her to a hidden glade where a beautiful chest lay covered in vines. Eldon gently opened the chest, revealing a glowing crystal vial filled with a shimmering liquid. "This is the treasure you seek," Eldon said. "It has the power to heal and restore. Use it with love and it will bring healing to your grandmother." Lyra thanked Eldon and the forest with all her heart. She took the vial and made her way back to Eldergrove. With the vial in hand, she hurried home and administered the healing liquid to her grandmother. As the liquid touched her lips, her grandmother's color returned, and she awoke with a smile. The village celebrated Lyra's bravery and kindness, and the Whispering Forest continued to thrive, its magic renewed by the love and courage of a young girl. The forest remained a place of wonder and enchantment, a testament to the power of pure hearts and selfless deeds. From then on, the villagers spoke of Lyra's adventure as a cherished tale, reminding everyone that the greatest magic of all is found in the strength of kindness and the power of the heart. The end. Once upon a time, in the enchanting kingdom of Luminera, there was a small village nestled beside a shimmering lake. The villagers lived in harmony with the natural world, and their lives were guided by the phases of the moon. The most important night of the year was the Moonlit Festival, where a magical boat was said to appear and grant a single wish to the pure of heart. In the village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her love of the stars and her dream of exploring the world beyond the lake. Each year, she eagerly awaited the Moonlit Festival, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary boat. One evening, as the Moonlit Festival approached, Mira made a heartfelt wish. She wanted to journey across the lake to discover what lay beyond the shimmering waters and see the world's wonders for herself. As the moon rose high and the festival lights twinkled like stars, Mira's wish was about to come true. The mysterious boat. That night, as the moonlight bathed the lake in a silvery glow, Mira saw something magical. A boat, crafted from moonbeams and adorned with celestial flowers, floated gently to the shore. It was the legendary Moonlit Boat. With a heart full of excitement and a touch of trepidation, Mira stepped into the boat. As soon as she did, the boat began to glide across the lake, the water parting smoothly beneath it. The boat was guided by the soft light of the moon, and Mira felt as if she were sailing through a dream. The stars above twinkled brightly, casting their light on her journey. The Enchanted Isles. After a while, the moonlit boat reached the first destination, the Enchanted Isles. Each island was a marvel, glowing with its own unique magic. Mira stepped onto the first island, where she was greeted by a lively community of talking animals and vibrant flowers that danced in the moonlight. The island's wise owl, Orion, told Mira that each island held a piece of wisdom. Mira learned that the first island's magic was that of harmony, how the creatures and plants lived together in perfect balance. Mira marveled at the beauty and unity of this place before boarding the boat again. The Crystal Caverns. The boat then carried Mira to the second destination, the Crystal Caverns. Inside the caverns, the walls sparkled with countless crystals, each one casting colorful reflections across the cavern's surface. Mira encountered a gentle dragon named Loomis, who was the guardian of the caverns. Loomis explained that the second island's magic was one of courage. To proceed, Mira needed to navigate a maze of shifting crystal paths. With a deep breath and a brave heart, Mira navigated the maze, guided by her inner light and the glowing crystals. Successfully finding her way out, she received a small, radiant crystal from Loomis, symbolizing her courage. The Garden of Eternal Night. The moonlit boat then carried Mira to the final destination, the Garden of Eternal Night. This mystical garden was filled with glowing night-blooming flowers and twinkling fireflies. Mira was met by a serene fairy named Celine, who tended to the garden with grace. Celine revealed that the final magic was that of love. Mira was asked to help tend the garden by planting a special moonflower, which would only bloom if it received a heartfelt wish. Mira planted the flower with love and whispered her wish for peace and joy for her village. The moonflower bloomed with a brilliant, silver light, reflecting Mira's pure heart. The return. As the moonlit boat began its journey back to the village, Mira reflected on the wonders she had experienced. Each destination had taught her something valuable: harmony, courage, and love. The boat glided smoothly, and the moonlight grew even more enchanting as they approached the village. When Mira arrived back at the village, she was greeted with cheers and wonder. The villagers marveled at her bravery and the stories she shared. The magic of the moonlit boat had not only fulfilled Mira's wish for adventure but had also brought back the wisdom and beauty of the enchanted lands. The village thrived with newfound inspiration and joy. Mira's adventures were celebrated each year during the Moonlit Festival, and the moonlit boat became a symbol of the magic that lay within the heart of every dreamer. Once upon a time, in the peaceful kingdom of Green Hollow, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there was a tiny village named Elderglen. Elderglen was known for its lush meadows, where flowers of every color bloomed and children played. Among these children was a bright-eyed girl named Marigold, who loved to explore the forests and meadows around her home. Marigold had a special friend, a wise old hedgehog named Thistle. Thistle was not just any hedgehog, he had lived for many years and knew all the secrets of the forest. Every day, Marigold would visit Thistle in his cozy burrow, and he would tell her stories of magic and wonder. One afternoon, as Marigold was wandering through the forest, she stumbled upon a hidden glen she had never seen before. In the center of the glen was an ancient, gnarled tree with silver bark and leaves that shimmered like emeralds. Intrigued, Marigold approached the tree and saw a small door carved into its trunk. Above the door was an inscription: "The heart of the forest awaits." Marigold's curiosity got the better of her. She gently pushed open the door and found herself in a room filled with a soft, green light. In the center of the room sat a small, glowing orb on a pedestal. As she reached out to touch it, a voice echoed through the room. "Only the pure of heart can awaken the heart of the forest." Startled, Marigold stepped back. "Who's there?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. From the shadows emerged a beautiful, ethereal figure with long, flowing hair that seemed to be made of sunlight and moonbeams. "I am Sylvana, the guardian of the forest," The heart of the forest is in danger, and only you can save it. Marigold, though nervous, felt a surge of determination. What must I do? Sylvana explained that the heart of the forest had been stolen by a dark sorcerer named Malakar, who sought to drain its magic for his own wicked purposes. Without the heart, the forest and all its creatures would wither and die. Marigold had to journey to Malakar's fortress, retrieve the heart, and return it to the glen. Without hesitation, Marigold agreed. Sylvana gave her a silver pendant shaped like a leaf, telling her it would protect her from harm. She also gave her a vial of sparkling liquid, saying it was a potion of courage. Marigold set off at dawn, with Thistle by her side. They traveled through dense forests and over rugged hills, following a map Sylvana had given them. Along the way, they encountered various challenges that tested Marigold's bravery and wisdom. First, they came across a rickety bridge over a deep chasm. As they started to cross, the bridge began to sway dangerously. Marigold took a deep breath and drank the potion of courage. With newfound confidence, she guided Thistle safely across. Next, they faced a dark and tangled thicket that seemed impenetrable. Thistle, using his knowledge of the forest, showed Marigold a hidden path that led them through the thicket unharmed. Finally, they reached Malakar's fortress, a dark and foreboding place surrounded by high walls and guarded by fierce creatures. Marigold clutched the silver pendant and whispered a prayer for protection. As they approached the gate, it swung open silently, as if inviting them in. Inside the fortress, they navigated through twisting corridors and shadowy halls until they reached a grand chamber where Malakar sat on a throne of black stone, holding the glowing heart of the forest in his hand. "You cannot take the heart from me," Malakar sneered. "Its power is mine." Marigold stepped forward bravely. "The heart belongs to the forest and its creatures. You have no right to keep it." Malakar laughed, but his laughter was cut short as Marigold held up the silver pendant. It glowed brightly, and Malakar recoiled, blinded by its light. Seizing the moment, Marigold and Thistle rushed forward. With a swift move, Marigold grabbed the heart from Malakar's grasp. As soon as she touched the heart, it glowed even brighter, filling the chamber with light. Malakar screamed in rage, but the light grew so intense that he was forced to flee, disappearing into the shadows. With the heart of the forest safely in her hands, Marigold and Thistle hurried back to the hidden glen. Sylvana was waiting for them, her face radiant with joy. "You have done it," she exclaimed. "You have saved the heart of the forest." Marigold carefully placed the heart back on its pedestal. As she did, the entire glen erupted in a cascade of colors and light. Flowers bloomed, trees swayed with newfound life, and the air was filled with the songs of birds and the hum of magic. Sylvana turned to Marigold with gratitude. "You have not only saved the forest but have also proven that true courage and kindness can overcome any darkness. The forest will forever be in your debt." Marigold returned to Elderglen as a hero, her heart full of pride and joy. The villagers celebrated her bravery, and the forest thrived like never before. From that day on, Marigold continued to explore and protect the forest, always guided by the lessons she had learned. And so, the kingdom of Green Hollow flourished under the watchful eye of its new guardian, and Marigold's adventures became the stuff of legends, reminding everyone that even the smallest among us can achieve the greatest of deeds. Once upon a time, in a serene and picturesque kingdom called Verdantia, there flowed a beautiful, shimmering stream known as the Silver Stream. This stream was said to have a magical song that could bring peace and prosperity to anyone who listened to it. The people of Verdantia believed that the stream's melody was a gift from the fairies who lived in the enchanted grove at the heart of the forest. In the village of Meadowbrook, nestled along the banks of the Silver Stream, lived a young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her love of music and her kind heart. She spent her days helping her neighbors and often visited the stream to listen to its enchanting song. Despite its beauty, Lila felt that the stream's melody was fading, and she worried that the magic of the Silver Stream might be disappearing. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Lila decided to embark on a journey to the enchanted grove to seek the fairies' help. She believed that if she could find the source of the stream's song, she might be able to restore its magic. She packed a small satchel with food, a warm cloak, and her favorite flute, which had been a gift from her grandmother. As Lila entered the forest, she followed a narrow path lined with twinkling fireflies. The air was filled with the scent of pine and wildflowers, and the sounds of the forest were soothing. The path led her deeper into the woods until she reached a magnificent archway covered in luminous vines. Beyond the archway lay the enchanted grove. The grove was a breathtaking sight. Trees with silver leaves stood tall, and flowers that glowed softly in the moonlight carpeted the ground. In the center of the grove was a grand, ancient tree with a trunk that seemed to shimmer like stardust. Around the tree danced delicate fairies, their wings sparkling with every color of the rainbow. Lila approached the fairies with a mixture of awe and determination. The fairies, noticing her arrival, gathered around her. The queen of the fairies, a graceful figure with wings like spun glass, floated down and greeted Lila. "Welcome, brave one. I am Queen Seraphina. What brings you to our sacred grove?" Lila explained her concern about the fading song of the silver stream and her wish to restore its magic. Queen Seraphina listened carefully and then nodded. "To restore the magic, you must find the Crystal of Harmony, which lies hidden deep within the heart of the forest. It is said that only someone with a pure heart and a true love for music can retrieve it." With the queen's blessing, Lila set out on her quest. The heart of the forest was a mysterious and magical place, and the journey was filled with challenges. She followed a trail of sparkling stardust that led her through enchanted meadows and over babbling brooks. Along the way, she encountered magical creatures, a wise old owl, a playful squirrel, and a gentle fawn, each of whom gave her a piece of advice or a token to aid her on her journey. After a long and arduous journey, Lila arrived at a hidden cave illuminated by the soft glow of bioluminescent crystals. Inside the cave, she found the Crystal of Harmony resting on a pedestal of glowing roots. The crystal radiated a soothing light and emitted a melody that resonated with the music of the silver stream. As Lila reached out to take the crystal, she felt a surge of energy and warmth. The cave began to fill with a harmonious symphony that seemed to echo through every corner of the forest. Lila carefully took the crystal and made her way back to the enchanted grove. Upon her return, the fairies greeted her with joy. Queen Seraphina took the Crystal of Harmony and placed it on a pedestal beneath the grand tree. The moment the crystal touched the pedestal, a brilliant light enveloped the grove, and the magic of the enchanted grove seemed to flow into the silver stream. The next day, as dawn broke over Meadowbrook, the villagers awoke to find that the silver stream was more vibrant and melodious than ever before. The stream's song was now filled with a rich, harmonious tune that brought a sense of peace and joy to all who heard it. Lila's bravery and dedication were celebrated by the entire village. The story of her quest became a cherished legend in Verdantia, and the silver stream continued to sing its magical song, ensuring that the kingdom remained a place of harmony and prosperity. And so, with the magic of the silver stream restored and the music of the enchanted grove forever in their hearts, the people of Verdantia lived happily ever after, always remembering the song that had brought them together. Once upon a time, in a land where the skies were always filled with twinkling stars and the nights were bathed in silver moonlight, there was a quaint village named Starhaven. This village was known for its serene beauty and the shimmering starlight that seemed to touch every corner. At the heart of the village stood an ancient oak tree, beneath which lay a hidden grove. In this grove was a magical amulet known as the Starlit Amulet, said to hold the power to bring peace and prosperity to the land. The amulet had been a source of wonder and hope for generations, but one fateful night, a fierce storm swept through Starhaven, and the amulet vanished. Without its protective light, the once brilliant stars began to dim, and the village fell into shadow and despair. The crops withered, and the river's song grew silent. Desperate to restore their village, the village elder, wise and kind, called upon the bravest soul he could find. That soul was a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her courage and her love for the stars, often spending her nights gazing up at the sky, dreaming of adventures among the constellations. Mira accepted the challenge to find the starlit amulet and restore light to her beloved village. Armed with only her lantern and a heart full of hope, she set out on her quest. The first challenge, the Whispering Glade. Mira's journey began in the Whispering Glade, a mystical forest where the trees spoke in hushed voices and the air was filled with the scent of wildflowers. As she ventured through the glade, she came across a talking fox with fur that sparkled like stardust. To proceed through the Whispering Glade, the fox said, "You must solve this riddle. I have a heart that doesn't beat, a home that doesn't sleep, and a presence that is always near but never seen. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle and answered, "A dream." The fox's eyes twinkled with approval, and it guided Mira to a hidden path leading deeper into the forest. "Follow this path," the fox instructed, "and it will lead you to the next challenge." The second challenge, the River of Echoes. Following the fox's directions, Mira arrived at the River of Echoes, a tranquil river with waters that mirrored the sky and the surrounding landscape. The river was guarded by a majestic swan whose feathers shimmered like moonlight. To cross the River of Echoes, the swan said, "You must answer this question. What is light as a feather, yet the strongest person can't hold it for much longer than a minute?" Mira thought carefully and replied, "Breath." The swan's feathers glowed warmly, and it created a bridge of shimmering light across the river. Mira crossed the river with a renewed sense of determination. The third challenge, the Cavern of Dreams. On the other side of the river, Mira discovered the Cavern of Dreams, a grand cave filled with luminescent crystals that glowed with a soft, ethereal light. At the entrance of the cavern stood a large, ancient door with intricate carvings of stars and moons. A gentle voice echoed from within the cavern. "To unlock this door and find the starlit amulet, you must reveal your true intentions. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure heart." Mira took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My deepest wish is to find the starlit amulet and restore its light to Starhaven so that my village can once again thrive and be filled with hope." The cavern's walls shimmered with a golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing the starlit amulet resting on a pedestal, glowing with a soft, silver light. The revelation, restoring the amulet. With the starlit amulet in hand, Mira returned to Starhaven. As she placed the amulet back in its rightful place beneath the ancient oak tree, its light began to spread, bathing the village in a warm, radiant glow. The stars in the sky sparkled brightly once more, and the land seemed to come alive with renewed vigor and beauty. The villagers gathered in awe as the village was restored to its former splendor. The crops flourished. The river sang its joyful song, and the nights were once again filled with the twinkling brilliance of the stars. The village elder praised Mira for her bravery and determination, and the tale of her quest became a beloved story in Starhaven. The starlit amulet continued to shine brightly, a symbol of hope and the power of a pure heart. Under the radiant light of the starlit amulet, the village of Starhaven flourished, forever grateful for the young girl who had restored their light and their dreams. Once upon a time, in a hidden realm nestled between towering mountains and endless forests, there was a small kingdom called Lumina. Lumina was renowned for its enchanting beauty and for one special thing: every night, the skies would light up with 1,000 twinkling stars that seemed to form a bridge across the heavens. In this kingdom lived a kind and imaginative young girl named Lyra. Lyra loved to gaze at the starlit sky from her small cottage at the edge of the forest. She had heard stories of a legendary bridge made of stardust that connected the land to a realm of dreams. It was said that this bridge could only be seen and traversed by those with a pure heart and a true wish. One evening, as the full moon cast its silvery glow over Lumina, a sudden and mysterious darkness began to spread across the kingdom. The once brilliant stars dimmed, and the usual radiance of the starlit bridge faded away. The people of Lumina grew worried and frightened, unsure of what to do. Lyra, feeling a deep sense of urgency and compassion for her kingdom, decided that she would find out what had happened to the bridge. She knew that if the stars could be restored, the kingdom would be saved. Armed with her determination and a small pouch of provisions, Lyra set off into the forest, guided by the faint glow of the remaining stars. The forest was eerily quiet, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets in the darkness. As Lyra walked deeper into the woods, she came across a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed softly in the dim light. "Greetings, young one," said the owl. "I see you are on a quest. To find the starlit bridge, you must seek the source of light, hidden in the heart of the whispering woods. But beware, for the path is filled with challenges." Lyra thanked the owl and continued her journey. The whispering woods were known for their magical properties and mysterious enchantments. As she ventured further, she encountered 3 challenges: a river of illusions, a maze of mirrors, and a garden of shadows. The first challenge was the River of Illusions. The water shimmered with 1,000 colors, creating illusions of shimmering paths that led nowhere. Lyra took a deep breath and focused on her heart's true desire, to restore the starlit bridge. With unwavering resolve, she closed her eyes and let her intuition guide her. Stepping confidently, she crossed the river and reached the other side. Next, she faced the maze of mirrors, where every turn seemed to reflect her doubts and fears. The mirrors showed her countless reflections, some appearing lost and others confident. Lyra remembered the stories of the bridge and the wishes of her people. She focused on the hope and love that she carried in her heart and chose the path that felt right. Eventually, she found her way out of the maze. The final challenge was the Garden of Shadows, where darkness seemed to swallow everything. The flowers in the garden were wilted, and the air was cold. Lyra remembered the starlit bridge and the warmth it brought. She took out a small lantern she had brought and lit it with a tiny flame. The light from the lantern began to chase away the shadows, and the garden started to come back to life, revealing a hidden path. Following the path, Lyra arrived at the heart of the Whispering Woods, where she found a crystal-clear pool reflecting the night sky. In the center of the pool was a small, glowing star suspended above the water. Lyra knew this must be the source of light. She gently reached for the star, and as her fingers touched it, the sky above began to sparkle once more. The starlit bridge reappeared in all its glory, connecting the kingdom of Lumina to the realm of dreams. The darkness that had plagued the kingdom lifted, and the stars shone brightly again. Lyra returned to Lumina, where the people greeted her with joy and gratitude. The kingdom celebrated the restoration of their beloved starlit bridge, and Lyra was hailed as a hero. The magical bridge continued to shine in the night sky, a symbol of hope and the power of a pure heart. And so, under the radiant starlight and the watchful gaze of the moon, Lumina thrived once more. Lyra's adventure became a cherished story, a reminder of the light that shines within us all and the magic that can be found when we follow our hearts.